You found the Tony Basilio stream at TonyBasilio.com or on your smartphone or tablet. Another thrilling, chilling, and sometimes spilling edition of the Basilio Show is on the way next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com.
Listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Way to time it out. Laura, that was awesome. Woo! I'm fired up, focused, and prepared right now. I got a Ratty Flyer shirt on. I was sitting there sweating a preseason hockey game last night. And Laura looked at me and said, has the season started? And I said, no. And she said, well, why are we watching this? And I said, I don't know. The two NFL games are awful. Bri, how bad were those two NFL games they threw up last night? I mean, awful. No offense to the NFL.
Well, one of them was so awful that it actually was an interesting game. The other one was you had a backup quarterback who can't play against anybody except the Jags, who make him look like a Hall of Famer. But the first game was kind of more appealing. Two bad teams made a pretty good game. It came down to an onside kick.
Johnny Boy Adams is going to join us here momentarily, as will at some point the T to the G to the M to the D. We're kicking it live with you right now. So the Athletic yesterday report about Tony Vitello and the Giants. I want, and Tony listens to this show because, you know, he likes to move and groove with us. And I amuse him and he amuses me. But I tell you what would not be amusing for Tony is life in Major League Baseball. Now, people say, well, that's a pipe dream and they would never hire him. Yes, they would. Oh, yeah. Pat Murphy has had major success. Here's the way professional sports work. Professional sports have always been, like all sports, a copycat game. Somebody wins with a certain offense. Pretty soon, everybody's running that offense. Somebody wins with a certain defense. Pretty soon, people are running that defense. Pat Murphy has been very good. Former college coach. And, you know, that makes sense, dealing with college and pro players. They're younger. The guys are getting younger and younger. Here's the thing about Tony. Tony burns really hot. Tony, over 162 games, would burn out. He would not like it. He would not like the lifestyle. I hope he's flattered. And he needs to stay put, no matter what happens. I don't care if they come to him and say, you are our choice and we're paying you $5 million. That guy needs to stay put. Because college baseball is college baseball and Major League Baseball is Major League Baseball. It's two completely different things. So, Tony, if you're listening, you're loved and appreciated here. Be flattered, be honored, and you better stay the hell away from that gig. Because you will be one miserable paisan. Now, I will tell you
when Quentin Everhart, his strength coach, went to the Cubs, how long did he last there?
That's exactly right.
And I know it's a different thing.
No, you're right.
But
you're right.
He might look at that and say, Pause.
Well, he knows. I hope he knows. Thing is, everybody, gets kind of flattered, and hell, I'm flattered. I'm flattered people are listening to me right now. I get it. We all get it. Human nature to be wanted. I want you to want me, Robin Zander. Shout out Todd Etheridge. So, on this Tuesday, we gather together, and you see something like that. And I'm a catastrophizer from back in the day, so my immediate thought becomes, what would the show be like if we found out that our beloved, dearly beloved, Tony Vitello was going to leave us for Major League Baseball? I say we burn it to the ground. That's what no, I'm just kidding. It would be pretty jarring to Ewans and means. You imagine that, Brian? The level of dark dayness we would have here if we had to live through that. Can you imagine the impact, Brian Hartman? I mean,
Well,
can you just
I
imagine?
can remember.
Poor Matt Dixon would be over there in the fetal position.
I remember what it was like before they had a baseball program that nobody really paid attention to.
Yeah.
And how we sort of had to work for ways to come up with interesting stuff between April and the football season kicking off. And I guess you'd have to think that it would go back to that, but I don't know. Having had something and lost it, they say it's better to have loved and lost, but this would be something you have that you don't want to lose.
It'd be a kick in the absolute shorts.
I don't think he's going. I don't think he's going to go. He's not going to do it.
No way.
I think in some way it might be better off just not really giving it much.
You better not go, Tony. Hey, Tony, you better not go.
I don't think he's seriously going to do
that. Tony, you better not even consider it. You better not even consider it, Tony.
He's got his family moved here. I don't think they're going to want to uproot and go to San Francisco. I just don't see it.
Tony, you better not go. So we got that. Bino's got a dilemma. 6 o'clock Eastern time tonight, right around the corner. $5,000-mile credibility checkup for Bino. Does he cheer for VFL Garrett Crochet, who makes the start tonight for the Red Sox? Or does he cheer for his upper-level mediocrity Yankees? Ain't going to win anything. Let's go, Bino. I want to hear it. You look around the SEC. It's going to be our topic today once John joins. I'd like to ask you this. I want you to think about this. We're going to do the blog or do the show around this. I'm going to blog on this tomorrow. By the way, tclub.team today, Matt's got a great report on Tennessee's clean shave at Mississippi State. It's very good. I've got tons and tons of thoughts in there as well, like some random thoughts. A couple of you have sent me like some wonderful emails that I'm going to feature tomorrow and wrap it around our College Football Wednesday check-in that we're going to do. I saw where Brian Nico is a 27-point underdog with Penn State. I don't know how to feel about that, Bri. Because I think there's a chance Nico gets hurt this week. I mean, I hate to say that into my microphone.
Well,
when you watch their defense and look at his offensive line, you look at Penn State's defense and you look at his offensive line, this is a game where Nico could exit stage left. He could get really hammered Saturday. Up there, they're smarting after losing a game. Look, they're not great offensively. They've got an antiquated offense. Their defense with this Knowles guy, Gil, they are flying around.
They could score probably 3 defensive touchdowns in this game.
I agree with that. I mean,
They
Nico,
could score
yeah,
on defense and cover the spread pretty easily, and they're going
yeah.
to be mad after Saturday.
The other thing that's interesting in the gambling markets, and by the way, I did bet on last night a preseason hockey game, and I was sweating on the money line. The shootout, a shootout. I was doing my back stretches and trying to watch a shootout. I was like craning my neck while I was on the floor. Those of you that know about the child's pose and all that stuff where you come forward and you kind of flex your back out, and I'm sort of watching the screen, and Laura looks at me and she goes, man, you got problems. What are you doing? Because I'm like over there, Bri, banging my hand on the ground. I'm just like, I'm just getting so excited. She goes, the season didn't start. No, didn't start. Preseason hockey. Hey, John, if you're making a bet on a preseason NHL game, what would you think about a person that would do that?
I'd advise him to call 911.
Or 1-800-GAMBLER. So today we're going to kick it around. We come back. John Adams in the house, presented by Jennifer Morris, Next Move, SmokyMountains.com. Upon the continuance, we're going to rank the top 5 coaches in the SEC. Is Heupel one of them? And if he's not, where is Heupel? That's our assignment today. I'm looking for current coaches. I'm not worried about Nick Saban. And then the other theme today is Garrett Crochet tonight. I love seeing these Tennessee. Bri, are there any other Vols that are in the playoffs?
Chase Burns of the Cincinnati Reds is in the playoffs.
There you go. Is he pitching out of the bullpen right now? Or am I
Yeah,
imagining
he's coming
that?
in out of the bullpen, which is so ironic.
Yeah. Yep.
He actually threw last week and threw like 2 perfect innings. I think
he's going to help
done
them
really well.
Yeah, he's going to help them in the postseason. And he's not afraid to compete. Chase Burns, it wouldn't surprise. Well, Chase Burns could do one or the other. He's got to learn another pitch and a half if he wants to start, or he could just be a guy that comes in out of the bullpen and just throws smoke at people. Just bring it. Sing it, don't bring it. The concept of that report from The Athletic, people say, well, that's not real. Let me tell you something. These major league teams are copycats, and this Murphy guy's had some success. Now, I know he's different than Tony. I get it. I get he's old. I get all that stuff. But the Murphy guy's had success. And the new thing with these GMs now is think outside the box and try something. If Tony Vitello walked up there and was announced as a coach of the Giants tomorrow, by December 30th, he'd be totally miserable. By June, he'd be on medication. By July or August, he would be despondent. And by September, he'd be trying to get out of there. He would hate that life. He would hate that life. But that's just me. I'm just, I'm just calling it like I see it and straight down the middle. Another thing I want to ask John Adams today is because he does his poll each week, if he's ranking the SEC teams right now, you do realize that next week, after Tennessee plays, we're at the halfway mark of the season. That's crazy. Now, it doesn't feel that way, but it is that way. We'll come back on the other side. 865-200-5402. Your top 5 coaches in the league, our top 5 coaches in the league. I think when you're doing an exercise like this, you have to start with the guys that made a 14 playoff. I think those are the first guys you got to mention, don't you? Brian, do you agree with that as a precursor to our next segment? The Brian Kellys of the world, the guy that took Washington to the national championship game.
Yeah,
who's at Alabama?
I don't disagree with that.
That's a fair. I mean, to me, that's how you build this thing out.
But keep in mind how close Heupel. He was an upset away from South Carolina from being in that list himself.
Don't remind me, Bri. As we continue with more on the other side, you're right, though. When you try to do this assignment, this is like trying to rank these teams right now. These coaches, hey, let me tell you something. Nick Saban's not walking back through that door, and Kirby Smart probably cost his team a game the other night. So anything can happen here. A lot of good coaches in this league. Other thing that's interesting to me is the Vandy, Alabama line has fallen 2 points in the last little bit. And at some point, Alabama really becomes the play there because I think Alabama's probably going to smoke them. Then again, who knows? Texas and Florida this weekend. You know it's a down weekend for the sport. I want to talk to John about this. Hey, that Florida defense, if Arch Manning doesn't keep his head on a swizzle, as the great Buzz Peterson once said, a swizzle. John, were you around Buzz Peterson when he used the term swizzle?
I don't remember that, and I think I would remember it if I heard him say it in my presence.
Do you like when coaches and athletes misuse terms? Are you into that like I am?
Oh, yeah, I think it's awesome. I would like to hear more of it.
Yes.
I was always impressed when Philip Fulmer, formerly Tennessee's coach, when he referred to kudos as kudos. Mentioned that several times in press conferences. He used it more than once. So it made it even better. And I guess nobody bothered to tell him, hey, coach, you're mispronouncing this word.
Right. Well, it's kind of like Butch Jones saying resiliency over and over again. You'd have thought somebody at Tennessee would have pulled him aside and said, hey, Butch, I mean, I'm kind of looking at the dictionary right now, and that's not a word. I mean,
that brings to mind another term. It's not creating a word, but it's part of that sports jargon that gets in our lexicon and just sticks around. Why in the world did anybody start saying "score the ball" in basketball?
The first guy,
score the ball. That makes no sense.
How about football move?
The first guy I heard that was Conzo Martin. That'd be a great summer off-show topic, guys. Catch radius, score the ball, and every once in a while, one of those things will come out of my mouth, and literally, I'll want to go in the bathroom and wash my mouth out with soap, like I was back in Catholic school, and I got caught saying one of the 7 dirty words.
Yeah, you kind of want to just go throw up and wonder what's wrong, but you can't because you hear it so much. And ESPN is the king of sports jargon.
You can't. You can't.
It's like forward and field goes.
After this.
Are you searching for a great local coffee? I'm Billy with Grade A Grounds. You can buy our freshly roasted coffee online and support a good cause with every sip. Great coffee, greater causes. Visit our website today, gradeagrounds.com.
You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting. Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gouffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gouffon Moving and Storage are pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gouffon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gouffon.com. That's Gouffon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gouffon Moving and Storage.
Why limit great savings to just one weekend? This year, our Labor Day special lasts all month long. It's the September Smart Comfort event from Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. This month only, enjoy valuable home comfort upgrades at no extra cost when you install a new HVAC system or water heater to prepare your home for the colder months ahead. This September, you can get a free furnace upgrade with qualifying HVAC system installation or free sediment filter with water heater installation. Pipe Wrench is your partner for energy-efficient and cost-effective upgrades that keep your family comfortable and safe year-round. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. No rush, no stress, just smart seasonal savings for HVAC or water heater installations until the end of September. Call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Life never stops moving, and between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up, a tire designed for doers, a tire that's going to last, like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776, or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
PB back with you. It's unbelievable, Andy. It is unbelievable on this Tuesday because John Adams is in the house. It's unreal. We've got a lot to talk about today. Now, John's got a transfer quarterback fun fact. John's a drum beater on, and some of you have come around to Papa's way of thinking when it comes to the transfer quarterback deal. And the, how do you say it? I mean, it's such an odd thing to say out loud, but is it imprudent to take all your money or to take a good glob of your money and put it in a true freshman quarterback? Like I'm thinking about next year, right? Tennessee's got some momentum this year. They might make the playoffs. They might miss it by a hair. Who knows? But it's going to be close. And they've got a nice run going here the last couple of years. Hey, John, in whose world is it going to be a good idea to either put George McIntyre out there, who's going to be woefully inexperienced unless Joey Football gets injured, and then he's going to play and finish the year, and then maybe this becomes at some point, a mute point, as they say, as my friends in Greater Newport like to say. Or, John, if Joey Aguilar stays on his feet all year, which I think he will, at least we hope he will, you're either going to have an inexperienced George McIntyre or a true freshman playing what I think you can charitably call a super schedule next year. That's a super schedule.
I think it's a really hard schedule. I wouldn't call it super. Oklahoma has a super schedule. Florida has a super schedule this year, but it is a difficult schedule, and I wouldn't even hesitate. I mean, to me, there's not even any debate. In December, I'm getting me a transfer quarterback.
Brian, do you agree with that? Or do you think you could take either the Brandon kid or GMAC and go out there and do your thing next year against that schedule? Because to me, if you take one of those quarterbacks and do that against that schedule, to me, you're looking at a 7-5 year. Now, to me, that could be an overreaction
explore
here.
Every option I could there with getting the best guy in. Maybe he's on campus. Maybe he's already on campus, but I would also look at the best options I could get, see what's out there.
And by the way, I think
Brian,
the GMAC guy's got a future.
I
think the GMAC guy's got a future. I'm not hating on him, but you're talking about taking a guy that's relatively inexperienced. And you saw, I mean, they had a chance, Sean, to give him some experience a couple games ago. Which game was it? UAB, and they didn't even stick him in. I'm going, guys, we're going to have to play him or Brandon next year. We got to get, well, anyway. So if you have a thought on that at 865-200-5402, go ahead, John.
Well, you've got to be working on your 2026 roster right now.
Yes.
You got to be ready to pull the trigger in December.
Yes.
It's not like you're waiting till next year to think about your 2026 team. It's done early. I mean, to me, it's not. It's just a no-brainer. I mean, you look at some of the Tennessee has NIL money. You look around the country at some of these quarterbacks. Think about some of the quarterbacks Tennessee was interested in this past year that it couldn't get. Joey Aguilar, it just got lucky with Joey Aguilar. It just got really lucky. Ole Miss got really lucky with Trinidad Chambliss. But you look at the guy, Sam Levitt at Arizona State. I mean, I don't know how good Arizona State is. It's lost to Mississippi State. It may end up having a good year. I think he's got more eligibility. I would really look at a junior or a senior quarterback and get him as a transfer. A guy that's proven that you have tape of him performing in a college football game, a meaningful college football game. Yeah, to me, the perfect scenario is what Ohio State did. Last year, it went out and got Will Howard from Kansas State, a one-and-done guy. Its backup is Julian Sayin.
Just saying.
And now they win a national championship with Will Howard. He had a good year. And now Sayan is ready to take over. So you got Sayan for several years. That to me is the ideal scenario. I'm not saying you always have to get a transfer quarterback, but I don't want to play somebody. I don't want to start somebody at quarterback that has no college playing experience because there's no way to project how he will do. You just don't know. We found that out with Nico, found it out with Joe Milton. You can look all around the country and see guys. You just don't know till they actually get out there and start playing and start trying to process information in the heat of battle, read the field, go through the progressions, all that good stuff. You just don't know. And at least with a guy that's proven, you know what he can do. And that means so much more to me than how strong somebody's arm is, what his vertical jump is, or how fast he runs a 40. It's playing the position. I keep referring back to Watson Brown, who a couple of weeks ago talked about this very subject. Watson Brown talk about the value of quarterbacks. He loves Joey Aguilar. He likes Gunnar Stockton. He likes guys that can play the position, that can throw the ball on target, on time. And you just don't know about these guys until they actually get out there and do it. I mean, you look at the odds on Heisman Trophy candidates right now. A lot of them are transfer quarterbacks.
It's wild. All right, John, give your transfer fun fact, and then I want to rank the top 5 teams in the league right now as we come into league play, as we're almost at the halfway point of the season. Some teams are going to play their 6th game. The Vols play their 6th after an off week. 4:15 Eastern Time, Dave Neal kickoff special. John Adams' fun fact is transfer quarterback fun fact, ladies and germs.
5 undefeated SEC teams, 4 of them are quarterback by transfers.
Name them, Brian. 5 undefeated SEC teams.
Well, Vanderbilt, Missouri, and Ole Miss are 3 of them. Missouri, Ole Miss, Vanderbilt are 3 that I named. And I think that's the only 3 undefeated teams left in the SEC. A&M, maybe.
A&M, but it doesn't have a transfer.
And we're missing one, Brian.
Ole Miss. Did I say Ole Miss?
Ole Miss. Vanderbilt.
Missouri.
Oklahoma's the other one.
Oklahoma.
John Mateer, he's hurt right now, but he's the quarterback. And then you look around, and then you have, in addition to those guys, you have Tennessee with Joey Aguilar. Tennessee, a top 15 team, and it's lost only to Georgia. You also have Mississippi State is 4-1 with Blake Shapen, a former Baylor quarterback starting. Arkansas, Taylon Green's a transfer from Boise. He's one of the total offense leaders in the country.
All about Taylon Green transferring from Boise. That's right. That's
another
right.
one. So it started when you started the season. 9 SEC teams were quarterback by transfers. When Tier's hurt, he'll be back. Kentucky's quarterback by Zach Calzada. He's
awful.
Hurt. I don't know if he's coming back.
He's awful.
I would advise
I think
him
he's
if
been
he values
benched.
Well, he's hurt. He was hurt.
Okay.
And he may be benched too, but the other guy they put in there didn't exactly dazzle me. Maybe I missed something. God, I don't even know why they signed Zach Calzada, but boy, that's a program in disarray. That's the surest thing in the SEC right now is Kentucky. It's not winning any games. It's done winning.
Hey, Brian, you remember we used to play battle over the beer barrel, the Vols in Kentucky? Remember that? The beer barrel,
Yeah.
Brian? And they quit doing
1999 was when they quit.
99 was when they quit, so quarter century. So the youngsters don't even remember that. They would bring the beer barrel out, and it was like it had some orange on it and some blue on it and some white on it. It was cool looking. and they would take it out, and hold it up in the air. It came to me that this Kentucky South Carolina thing has really turned into a contentious battle. I think they ought to take the beer barrel bry and cut it and have 1/8 of it left, the very bottom of the barrel, and they ought to play for the bottom of the barrel trophy, Bry.
Well, I
what do
never
you think of
understood
that?
playing for a trophy when one team had it all the time. It never made sense to me.
What about the bottom of the barrel, though? Those two teams they
Yeah,
go really hard at each other.
I think that'd be a good idea.
They fought like they were it really mattered. Two real character coaches, Sean, over there talking trash on each other the other night. The teams intimidating each other. I mean, they're really playing for something. They ought to have a bottom of the barrel trophy for them, John. Bring back the bottom of the beer barrel.
I kind of regret I didn't watch any of that game. I mean, there was other stuff going on, so I was watching it. But Alabama and Georgia, I think, were playing at the same time. I imagine most of
Penn State.
I don't think their viewing audience was real high for that Kentucky South Carolina game.
No. All right, let's do our teams in the league. This is a very hard, interesting exercise. John Adams, your top 5 teams in the league, and then keep going down till we get to the Vols. Who's number 1?
And I'm ranking these teams the way I ranked them in my Big Ten SEC poll.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
not ranking them on how I think they'll finish.
Yes, sir.
So I have Oklahoma 1, Ole Miss 2, Texas A&M 3, Texas 4, and Alabama 5.
All right. And then he has Georgia 6, the Vols 7, and LSU behind them, if you just took the SEC.
Yeah.
So another topic I want to talk about is the Mississippi State team we just saw. And I'm going to ask you and Brian this. Peer down at their schedule. How many SEC wins for them from here? Talking with Bino Friday at Calhoun's on the River. And I had Bino pull their schedule out. And I said, Bino, if they don't beat the Vols tomorrow. By the way, they almost beat the Vols, as we know. If they don't beat the Vols tomorrow, how many wins for them in the SEC this year? And Bino went, let's see, that's a loss, and then that one's a loss, and then that one's a loss, and then that one's a, and then that one's a. Bino said, I don't know that they win another game. Now, they might beat Florida.
They could beat Arkansas.
They could beat Arkansas. You always have a couple teams that are kind of laying around in limbo in this league. Limbo's a place in the SEC.
What about that Ole Miss game, though, at the end of the year? It's a fierce rivalry.
Well, and you make a great point, John. Ole Miss is playing at that point maybe to get into the playoff. How much would Mississippi State love?
Oh man, and it's
and I mean
in
relish it.
I mean,
they love to beat them anyway.
I bet Mississippi State fans will bring 2 cowbells to that game. That's a 2 cowbell game for a fan.
So John has Oklahoma, Ole Miss, A&M, Texas, Bama, Georgia, then the Vols, and LSU. Brian, your top 5 in the league as we enter this week.
Well, I'm going to go with Alabama.
Yeah.
I'll say I'll put A&M at 2nd, and I'll go with Oklahoma at 3rd, Georgia 4. I'll take Missouri at 5 and Tennessee at 6 and Texas at 7.
Brian has...
Where's
Bama,
Ole Miss? Did I mention Ole Miss?
Bama, A&M. Yeah. You have Georgia 3rd. Who'd you have 4? Do that again.
I think I had
Let's do it again. Tony obviously wasn't paying attention.
You had Bama.
Yeah.
You had Bama.
Go
A&M.
ahead, Brian.
See, this is so hard. Really, this is hard to do because you could put a team in the top 2, or you could put them at 10th. That's how hard it is. I'll say Alabama 1.
Right.
I'll go A&M 2.
Right.
I'll
You
say
had Oklahoma 3.
3, Georgia 4.
Yes.
I'll go Ole Miss 5,
Yes.
Missouri 6, Tennessee 7.
All right, John. That Missouri team, when you look at their schedule, are you buying, selling, or trading them touching a playoff spot this year, or does it all fall to pieces?
I don't know. I mean, Missouri's got a favorable schedule. It's got 2 weeks to get ready for Alabama
Yes.
in Columbia.
Yes.
It plays at Auburn. Auburn could fold up now
Yes.
after a couple of tough losses.
Mhm.
Hugh Freeze is battling cancer.
Poor guy.
And Vanderbilt and Nashville. If Diego Pavia goes down, their season's done, and he takes a lot of hits. Then Missouri has 2 weeks to play A&M, and that's a home game too. And it's got Mississippi State, Oklahoma, and Norman. Who knows if John Mateer will be walking at that point as much as he carries the ball. And then Arkansas and Fayetteville. I mean, I could see Missouri. Let's just say it.
Yeah.
Let's say it loses to Alabama and Oklahoma.
10-2, they're going to get in. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, if it could be,
Well,
kind of helps Missouri that Vanderbilt's had some success. I mean,
yeah.
You look at Vanderbilt now. It's a likely bowl team. I mean, if it's going to beat Kentucky, it'll beat Kentucky like a drum.
Vandy's legit.
It could beat Auburn. So,
yep.
Hey,
Vandy could win this weekend, guys. It's not out of the realm of possibility. 9.5 points right now as we enter today. 30% chance of that happening. 25, 27, 28% chance is the number. I mean, here's the thing. They have a credible football team. Alabama has to deal with coming down off that high. Not to mention,
Alabama has not handled success well.
And they played a very physical football game, John. They played a very, very physical football game Saturday. Not only the mental part of that. You playing one of those 3-point slobber knocker things on the road, we've seen it here. You will carry that game with you into the next week. There's no telling how many bumps and bruises that they have on their roster. So John's top teams entering this week are Oklahoma, Ole Miss, A&M, Texas, Bama, Georgia, and then he has the Vols and LSU. Brian has, entering the week, Bama, A&M, Oklahoma, Georgia, Ole Miss, Missouri, and the Vols. John has a transfer quarterback fun fact for you. 5 undefeated SEC teams. 4 of them are quarterbacked by transfers. That's crazy. And the fact that Taylor Green, who I forget that kid is a Boise guy. Basically, 60% of the quarterbacks in the league are transfer quarterbacks. It's nuts. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy when you consider that in this league, you get the pick of the litter out of high school. You get the pick of the litter high school quarterbacks in this league.
Probably 70% of the SEC teams sign at least a 4 or a 5-star quarterback.
Yeah. Yes.
Every year.
And more times than not, you know what those guys do? They don't work out. It's bizarre. It's very hard. It's like offensive linemen these days. It's very hard to figure out who's going to work and who's not. All right, let's go to the phones. Enough out of me. More of these guys, less of me. Mississippi State, John from here. Let me answer that question. I'm asking you and John. You and Bry. How many wins do they have from here?
I will say 2.
All right. What are the 2?
I mean, this is well, that I'm not sure. I think it may not win any, but I see
maybe Arkansas.
I see Florida and Arkansas
mm-hmm.
as winnable games.
Mm-hmm.
And Ole Miss, it's a great rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, Ole Miss lost to Kentucky last year.
Mm-hmm.
So even a more talented Ole Miss team than this one. So it's hard to project, but watching that Tennessee Mississippi State game, my idea going in was Tennessee would run up and down the field on Mississippi State.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't run the ball as well as I thought it would against Mississippi State.
They
It
didn't.
had to do with the Mississippi State was playing, their scheme.
They didn't try to run the ball. The Vols didn't stay committed to it and didn't really.
They threw the ball had a lot of success throwing.
Oh yeah.
But I thought Mississippi State is a much better team than it was last year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not going to. I'm not saying it's going to have a winning season. But it could. It's not out of the question. It's got some talent. You look at those running backs. Those are two good running backs.
I trade them for ours. Here's the thing, though, guys.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Mississippi State spent $15 million, they're telling me. They might not win a league game. That's very possible.
Yeah.
That's the league we're in. It's crazy how hard this league is. And, John, people were on here the other day, and then we'll go to the phones. People were on here the other day, John, furious with Heupel after that game. Now, I know you get a lot of correspondence from your readers, and they send you emails, and you print some of them and have fun with people. But did you get a lot of that too? Because I was I don't know if I was surprised. I was kind of surprised by the tone and tenor. Like one guy said, Tennessee overcame coaching today. I'm going, I mean, that's a little harsh. You win a league game, you overcame coaching. Another person said this proves Heupel's never going to make it here. I just don't know if people appreciate. And I'm not telling you that these head coaches are on a mercy mission to Calcutta. I'm not going to pretend like that. Or this is some grand thing they're doing, turning water into wine or something. But, man, it's hard. It is hard to win games on the road in this league.
Yeah, it's very hard. In my, it was almost unanimous in my inbox from fans. I ran some of the emails in my column today, in my email column. Some got in a little late. I already had it done, but the Heupel's mismanagement of the clock was glaring. That was the consensus of my everybody that wrote about the game. That's what they focused on pretty much, was the clock management. This was Les Miles, like, formerly of LSU, and remember the Mad Hatter and his bungling ways with time management.
Miles was a winner.
Tennessee could have won that game in regulation.
Miles was a winner. This guy's a winner. Some of these guys, they look goofy doing it, but they are going to win 10 games more than not.
Well, I'm not saying he's
I know
he's a good coach.
Yeah.
Both things can be true. He's a good coach, and he bungled the clock management and almost cost Tennessee a game.
He didn't exactly adorn himself in glory in the Georgia game either, John. So
no, that's 2 SEC games and 2 questionable clock management. Another consensus criticism of Heupel I get from fans is he's not aggressive enough. He doesn't play to win. Here I'm reading from Jimmy's email. His didn't get in time to make my column, but he says, "What a fool! This takes a fetal position. This takes a fetal position to a new level. Deliberately running out the clock when there was a chance for the win. Heupel is no Steve Spurrier, more like late stage Philip Fulmer. That idiocy on the foul drive is a firing offense."
To the phones we go. Yeah, people were really tore up over that after the game. I guess I didn't anticipate that, but whatever. I can still be surprised. It's kind of fun to still be surprised. Hello and welcome in.
Well,
We have tons of stuff to talk about, and you are on our Tuesday edition as we open up for the first time our TLD Logistics phone lines. Hi.
Hey, Tony, Jake from Memphis.
Hey, Jakey. Welcome in.
Hey, I think there's probably only one person in the Knoxville area that would be happy and relieved to see Vitello take that Giants job, and that's your lovely wife, Laura. Your side piece would be out of town.
Oh, what a great line.
I love you, man. That was low-hanging fruit. I'm with you, man. I don't think, man, I sure hope he doesn't, because you talk about
If my crush left, man,
all-time cup check.
come on, dude. I'd feel like I was 15 and my girlfriend just broke up with me in high school.
Oh,
How would you feel? How would you feel?
Well, I'm not, this is not hyperbole. I mean, I would, we're in the middle of football season, and I wouldn't care about football. I mean, it would suck immensely, and it would feel like, I just feel like, especially after the overtime win, yeah, we're joyful, we got hope in this playoff, but if that were to happen, man, I'd be devastated. I'd be devastated as just a Tennessee fan in general. I mean, I've said it in the past, he literally introduced me to a new sport that I love. And, obviously I'd still follow the team closely and give the new, I just don't even want to think about it. I mean, that's, I don't even want to think about it. That'd be awful. But, we talk about cup check. I don't think we realize how close we were to having an all-time cup check moment. Guys, if they picked off that Hail Mary that Joey threw, which they should have, they're running that thing back and they're walking off on a pick six. I mean, there was nobody back. That would have been an all-timer way to lose.
Oh, you mean at the end there? Yeah.
Yeah, and they should have picked that ball up. There's two guys there right there, and there was nobody back. And, yeah, that would have been just awful. And I spoke about it last week. My wife's a State fan, so I was in a house full of State fans watching that game. And, man, it's sad to see. I mean, we talk about battered vault syndrome. That poor fan base, they couldn't enjoy a good moment in that game because they knew the whole time they were losing. And it was kind of sad to experience and watch. And, we kind of tend to do that as ball fans. Like, how's the shoe going to drop? What's about to happen? But that fan base has it to a whole another level.
I can't imagine being 4-0, celebrating the fact that you've already exceeded your Vegas win total, and then looking at your schedule and going, are we going to win another game?
Well, imagine being 4-0. You have one of the biggest games in a very, very, very long time for that program, and you sell 12,000 tickets to the opposing fan
That's
base.
Correct. Yeah. When we had that guest on, it was 1 week ago. The guy that does the podcast, who's very good, by the way, and he said, we have 1,000 tickets left, and I went, that's not good. Because that's 1,000 more Tennessee fans that are going to that game, which is pretty much how it turned out.
It was startling how much orange was in that stadium for how big of a game it was for them. But
what's our stadium hold?
It's 60-something, I believe.
So roughly 20% of the stadium was Tennessee fans. That's kind of amazing.
That's what it said. That's what it looked and sounded like.
Look at the population base, though. I mean, Mississippi is not a populous state. And look how big Knoxville has become. It's, that was a good crowd for Mississippi State. You're comparing apples. I know there's both in the SEC, but you're really comparing apples and oranges here.
That's good context,
Tennessee has so many more resources, more NIL money. I think if Mississippi State can win 6 games a year, and the way as tough as this league is now, I think that's a really good accomplishment. I think it takes a good coach. Would take a good coach to do that. That's why I was so impressed with Dan Mullen. I know things didn't work out for him at Florida, but he did a really nice job at Mississippi State.
Well, speaking of Dan, and I'll leave you with this, Tony. I'm just kind of curious to hear y'all's thoughts, just from a strictly an entertainment perspective, just outsider looking at it, just for entertainment purposes. Would you rather have Dan Mullen, Bobby Petrino, or John Gruden coaching them Razorbacks? And I appreciate the time, Tony. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you. The Petrino guy is such a maniac. And every time I think of him, I think of his that neck brace, that wrestling neck brace, and that when he had the face all scraped up. I love him.
Did you ever see my serious football video parody of Bobby Petrino?
No.
Yeah, it was at Harley Davidson on Clinton Highway. I was on a motorcycle. Heather Harrington was on the back seat, a former Tennessee volleyball player. Blonde. She was on the back seat. I had a white neck brace on, and I kind of scruffed up my face, put something on it, rouge or something, to make it look like I was injured.
What a moron.
Yeah.
I wonder what the boyfriend of that girl is thinking right now that allegedly did what he did.
Yeah, Petrino's back in power, guys. And he fired 2 assistants yesterday, John. I don't know if I've ever heard of an interim
from
coach.
An entertainment purpose, that was a question. You got to want John Gruden from an entertainment perspective. He's entertaining. You don't know what he might do or say. I think that would be great. Bobby Petrino has entertainment value too.
Yep.
I mean, I thought that was, you talk about a bold move. I mean, he's just the interim coach. But Bobby Petrino doesn't look at it that way. He looks at it like, I'm back in charge. Okay, we're getting rid of these guys. I can't win anything with this bunch. You're out of here. I mean, most people come in as an interim coach. They're thinking, well, I just kind of need to stabilize things, get through the season. Bobby Petrino saying, no, I'm making some moves here. We're trying to turn this thing around. Who was the other one, Dan? In terms of, if Arkansas has its NIL house in order, Dan Mullen would be a pretty good hire. But I don't think he would take the job.
I wonder if
I think he would stay at UNLV.
I wonder if John Gruden is so out of sight and out of mind since he's been off ESPN for as long as he's been. If he would still be if he'd still have that pop, so to speak.
I think he would. I think because it's been he misses that. He needs it. I think it would.
Yeah, he needs it.
Now, but here's the thing, Tony. John Gruden peaked as a coach a long, long time ago. Mm-hmm. I remember covering the Super Bowl when his Tampa Bay Bucks won the championship, beat the Raiders, his former team. And, yeah, they're all week with the interviews with you're doing a press conference a day as a head coach at the Super Bowl for an hour or so. And he was really good. He was really, really quotable, entertaining, and a very good coach then. I do remember this about Gruden, what people would say about him when he was kind of at his peak in the NFL, that he really likes veteran players. He's not big on the younger, but he wants veterans. He believes in veteran players. So I don't know how he would – I just don't think John Gruden – I think he likes the idea. He wants to be a head coach again, and he likes the idea of it. But I think once he got into it, I don't think it would make him very happy.
Back to the phone.
He wants the attention of being wanted is what he
That's exactly
wants,
what
really,
he wanted. That's why he played with our fan base the way he did. And he had so many people just wrapped around the axle back then. Hello and welcome into our next call on your TLD Logistics phone lines. You're on a Tuesday with John Adams, presented by Jennifer Morris. Next move, SmokyMountains.com. Shout out, Jennifer.
Hey, guys, Dave.
Hey, Dave. Welcome in.
What I didn't get to yesterday on my call is and it has to do with Coach Heupel.
I'll tell you what, Dave. Stay right there. I want to hear from Dave. I want to give Dave a second to stretch out, stretch his feet. It's hour 2 on the radio as we're fan running with you on a Tuesday, taking you up to the great William Pattison, and we do it on the other side. Right after this.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340 WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run
Whether it's
Radio.
baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted Grade A Grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the volunteer state by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof, T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Please drink responsibly. Basilio here. No one does it like Alumni Hall. I'm here to tell you, living Vol fan, only one place that's the best place to shop for Tennessee gear, and that's Alumni Hall. The best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands like Nike and Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. Load up on hats, accessories, Yeti, all your tailgating necessities. Download the Alumni Hall app, click account, and it'll tell you how much Hall cash you've earned. You earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Alumni Hall, with physical locations in Murfreesboro, Bristol, and 3 locations in Knoxville, now open in Johnson City. Pop into Alumni Hall and get ready and tell them Tony B sent you. When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio Show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our gold bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama ZZ approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
I have a confession to make. I don't think I've ever been more interested in college football than I am right now. This season is so crazily interesting. It's just compelling. It's compelling to think about. It's compelling to talk about. Every week, you see one more card, as a great Tom Petty once said. And the waiting each week for these deals to start is the hardest part. And that's what this sport is. I mean, it's a sport of anticipation. It's a sport of each week you see more cards. And I've come to the conclusion that as you watch these seasons unfold, you cannot believe what people tell you. You have to believe your eyes. I mean, Arch Manning is on all the ads. I watch him play and go, he stinks. Now, he might get it together and be okay by the end of the year. But he ain't that five-star guy they thought he was. And John and Brian have ranked the SEC teams like this going into this week. Oklahoma. Now, you're going to tell me Mateer's hurt, and I get that. Mateer's hurt. They get through this stretch alive. Mateer comes back healthy for the Tennessee game. That is going to be one hellacious football game in Neyland Stadium. A lot harder of a game than we thought it was going to be. You know how I know? Because Oklahoma's damn good on defense. They're better than they were last year, and they were really good last year. Ole Miss is John's second team. I'll say this for Lane Kiffin. He was not afraid to They were not afraid of LSU in the moment. They were not afraid to go for the kill shot. They were not afraid. And they put the ball in a quarterback's hands from, where is it, guys? What's the school called?
Ferris Bueller.
Ferris, which I have no idea where Ferris State is. Brian, where is Ferris State?
That's in Michigan, like West Michigan.
West Michigan, okay. So it was Grand Valley is near where the Mayo Clinic is, John. You and I were talking yesterday.
Rochester.
Yeah, that's where Grand Valley is.
Minnesota, okay.
He and I were talking about, I remember passing the Grand Valley campus, but I didn't know whether it was Ferris State or Grand Valley, and I confused the two. So John's got Ole Miss too. They've never done it. See, you got to think about this from a Tennessee perspective. You're going, okay, if we got to get to the playoffs this year, and look, I've been kind of like lukewarm on the Vols making the playoffs, but I'm not stopping anybody from thinking that way because this is a season you can think that way. So Oklahoma's got a beat-up quarterback. John's got them 1. Ole Miss is 2. They've never done anything in the modern era. If they get to a playoff at Ole Miss, that is, what would you call that? That's like a borderline sports miracle if they got to a 12-team playoff. Yes, John? Based on their history in the modern era. Have they ever played an SEC championship game, y'all?
No, they're the only old Western Division team that never got to Atlanta.
Okay, so I'm talking about that's like and they've still a lot of meat on the bone with their schedule. And the other thing is Lane Kiffin's very capable of losing to Mississippi State at the end of the year. They're capable of losing Arkansas, like John said. That's kind of their history. And by the way, the weirdest thing about college sports, and I got a great email from a guy that I'm going to run tomorrow, and this is the truth, is that history in this sport shouldn't matter because the parts are constantly changing. But for some reason, John, history matters in this sport. It's bizarre.
Well, it matters at times, but when you look at the SEC and you talk about how compelling this season has been,
yeah.
And I'm not going to include Vanderbilt in this. Vanderbilt's doing great, but it's not going to make the playoff.
Right.
Okay. So, but there are 9 teams in the SEC that can think of themselves as in the running for the playoffs a month into the season.
Who are the 9,
and you
John?
You got Alabama.
Right.
Georgia.
Yes.
LSU.
Yes.
Missouri.
Yes.
Oklahoma.
Yes.
Ole Miss.
Yes.
Tennessee.
Yes.
Texas.
Yes.
Texas A&M.
I don't disagree with any of them. Now, let me ask you this, Sean. Peer down real quick, and then we'll go to the phones. At the Big Ten, and tell me how many teams today wake up thinking we can get to a playoff. Because that is the total difference in these two leagues.
Very much so.
Maybe I'm going to be proven wrong here. But, John, before you look at that list, what would you say that number is? 5? 6, maybe?
I don't think it's more than 5.
All right, go ahead.
When I look at these SEC teams, I can say, I could see that team making the playoff.
Yep.
With
5 Big Ten. What are the Big Ten?
The Big Ten is good at the top.
Sure.
It can hang with the SEC at the top. With
Ohio
State,
Oregon knows
State,
they're
Oregon.
In. Oregon knows they're in. Penn State thinks they're going. They might not. They might slip and finish 9-3 after what happened the other night. So you've got Oregon, you've got Penn State, and then we're going to get
Ohio State.
They're getting negative.
And then Michigan, and then you want to throw Indiana in there. That's 5 teams.
Ohio State, Michigan. How about USC?
No, I just don't trust USC. I mean, you could say that it's got talent, but lose to an Illinois team that lost by 53 points to Indiana.
It's a really good point, man.
I just don't see it. I mean, there aren't that many Big Ten teams that I think have a shot at playoff.
Let's bring Dave.
And when
back.
I look, go ahead.
No, you're fine. I was going to bring Dave back in, but when you go, you were going to make your point.
I
Go
think
ahead.
Well,
we could have
when I
put.
look,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
well, when I look at these schedules, I mean, Tennessee has, I think it has the most favorable schedule.
In the league,
I-
of
I-
those playoff aspirants you mentioned, Tennessee has the easiest schedule by far. By
Yes.
far. By far. Of the playoff
Tennessee,
aspirants.
all Tennessee has to do is split with Alabama and Oklahoma.
Yes, and they're in.
Arkansas, Kentucky, it's a joke. New Mexico State.
Layup.
Florida, I know the history in the swamp. You said you can't ever forget history. Okay. That's a factor, but Florida's not a good team, and Billy Napier won't be the coach then. Maybe that'll be an advantage for Florida. And then close against Vanderbilt. That's by far the easiest schedule.
Back to the
of
phones
the
we
playoff
go.
contenders.
And when you tell a guy like Negative that, man, that really ramps up his urge to dunk on our coach, which it sounded like he was getting ready to do when we departed here. Dave, welcome back in, brother. Always good to talk to you on the TLD Logistics phone lines as we open them up on hour 2. Welcome in.
This is Titans Field, Tony.
All right, let me see if I can find Dave. Dave, is that you?
Hey, guys.
Hey, Dave. Sorry about that, man. Bad
That's all right.
bad
I was
clock
talking about-
management on my
what
part.
What I didn't get to yesterday was coming into this year. I thought we had an advantage on the sideline, and I go back to when Coach Fulmer was here. And I expected Tennessee to win every game. And the reason I expected Tennessee to win every game because I knew the talent that he recruited. We had as good players as anybody in the country when he was here for most of his tenure. Josh Heupel, I thought, gave us an advantage as a coach, not the talent, but as a coach on the sideline. But I'm telling you, Tony, after that Georgia game and that decision, his decisions in that Mississippi State game, I don't think I can say that anymore.
Matt wrote a really astute thing today over at tclub.team as part of it. And I love Matt. He's extremely observant. He is one smart sucker. And, Matt, if you're listening to this, I never said that about you, but he is one smart guy when it comes to these sports and the intricacies. Matt said that he believes, after watching Heupel this year, that there's no question he's calling the plays. They've got this new offense they're running and this pro stuff, and they're kind of mixing and matching with what they've done in the past. He said there's very little doubt in his mind that Heupel's over there calling the plays. So, during games, he needs somebody in his headset to help him manage the stuff that's going on from down to down simply because he's worried about calling the next play. And I think he's right. I think that's why we've seen a Josh Heupel that all of a sudden looks scatterbrained during these games. I think that is a fair read. I think that is an accurate read, and I agree with him. And John, I was talking to somebody last night that told me that one of these head coaches, because now you can have as many people as you want to have. There's a head coach in the league. Because I was told this on Confidence, I'm gonna keep this nameless here. But there's one particular head coach in the league that identified this after last year, who is another play caller, who has somebody that whispers in their ear, John, when to go, when to not go, when to get a timeout. This person is paid like $75,000, okay, John? And it is their lone job to get in that headset because they have different frequencies on these headsets. One is the game management. One is helping you in the box with the formations and the play calls and that sort of thing. But there is one person at one of these schools, their lone job is to tell the head coach what to do and when to do what to do, and with those clock issue matters, those sorts of things. Get a replay. Don't get a replay. John, do you believe that Heupel needs help after watching this?
Yeah, but I also believe the coach making $9 million, not $75,000, is the one that needs to make these crucial decisions in games. That's what you're paid to do. You're going to play a lot of close games in the SEC. That determines winning and losing those plays. If that's an issue, if he's truly distracted from that because he's calling plays and somebody else needs to call plays, I guarantee you when Steve Spurrier was coaching, he was calling the plays. Do you think somebody was telling him what to do with the clock?
Well, Spurrier's a different case, though. I mean, you're dealing with a guy's offensive acumen. I mean, my God, he rewrote the book. But how about the rest of the world? Go ahead, Dave.
You think Lane Kiffin? You think Lane Kiffin has somebody tell him what to do with the clock?
I don't know. He may. Go ahead, Dave.
Well, how hard is it, Tony? He's sitting there.
Dave, you got 25 seconds. Dave, you got 25 seconds, and you got to call the next play, Dave. It's very hard. It's very fast. Come on, man.
Yeah, but he's got the clock right there. He's got his team on the field. I mean, it's not rocket science that he could control the time better than he did.
Dave, it's a lot faster than you think it is. And I'm not going to excuse the running the clock out at the end of the game. I mean, that would be a foolish thing to get on here, and he's not even going to excuse. Nobody's going to excuse that. I mean, that was bad. And he has had two weird football games. The Georgia game management and this one are very strange. I think the guy needs help personally because I think he's really calling the plays right now.
Well, they're calling for Hugh Freeze to be gone because they're saying he's calling plays. They're saying Billy Napier's calling plays and he's getting ready to leave. I mean, these guys. I think it's just excuses, and I think we're just making excuses for Josh Heupel. He didn't have this. He didn't have these issues in 2022.
John, but in 2022 he had an offense that was avant-garde, that didn't have a lot of new wrinkles in it, that's been caught up with, which is why they've gone to what they've gone with. They're doing something different now, Dave, offensively, and I'm inclined to agree with Matt Dixon that this guy's eyes are now on this new intricate thing they're running and how to manage games with it. And that's happened in the two games, the two SEC games where they've gone with different formations and different splits and run different things, is when this clock stuff or this, whatever you want to call it, these management issues have crept in here. I don't think that's accidental, Dave.
Okay.
But Tony, don't you believe, though, with the game hanging in the balance, with everything on the line, if the head coach is distracted from making those decisions, then he needs to change the process.
You're right, which is get somebody in your ear that you trust going, get a timeout. Get a timeout, because apparently,
maybe somebody else needs to be calling the plays in.
Or somebody on a staff needs to scream, get a timeout at him and help him.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
And Tony, next year's quarterback is already on our team. His name's Joey Aguilar, so he'll be back next year. So
Dave, I don't think you read the blog today. He's not going to be back. That'd be his 8th year in college football, Dave. I love you and I love your show, and I love that people think that's happening. Now, I would sue to try and make it happen. I would try to do that. Why not? And see if the NCAA takes another L in court. Dave, he's been around 2 more years than Pavia. You need to go read the blog today. 8 years, Dave. That's what you're talking about. This guy's a 7th-year player right now, Dave. Come on now.
Okay.
I'm just telling you. I love you, and I love your show. You're my man.
Have a good day.
Thank you, brother. And I like that they think that. Hey, John, if I could get Aguilar back next year, I would get him back. But today in the blog, I unpacked it because that will be the long shot of long shots if Joey Aguilar is your quarterback next year. And since Dave brought it up, let me go there and let me clear my throat as we will look at this real quick and then we'll go to the phones. And I want Joey Aguilar back as much as the next person, as much as you do, as much as they. Hey, I would take him back. This is under the heading of, is Nega Dave right? Could Joey Aguilar get a second year at Tennessee? Nega Dave called and said a source at UT's AD told him Tennessee wants to find a way. Great idea. He compared Aguilar's situation to Pavia. I've dug deeper. Here's what I know. Aguilar came out of high school in 2019. He enrolled in City College of San Francisco, where he redshirted that season. That's 1 year. In 2020, it was wiped out due to the pandemic. 2021, he transferred to Diablo Valley Junior College. That's another season. So that's 2 years now, Dave, where he played 2 seasons, which makes it 3 seasons, Dave. Then he went to App State, where he played 2 more seasons, which made it 5 seasons, Dave. And now he's playing his 6th season at Tennessee, but he's been in college for 7 years. And now he's working on an 8th. If you're going to go by John, do you think that they're going to let a guy hang around 8 years in college football?
We've had some other players who've tried to get that extra year.
Yes.
Pavia succeeded, but there's some others that haven't.
There was a kid that played, I want to say in 2021 for East Tennessee State, that was on that Temple team that beat Vanderbilt in 2014. And he was on that ETSU team that beat Vanderbilt in 2021. So I don't know what his story was.
What about Kyle McCord of Syracuse? Had a great year in 24. He petitioned for an extra year, didn't get it. I don't remember the facts of his case. He was at Ohio State initially. I don't remember what year he came out. I mean, who knows? The way
I would love for it to happen.
Football goes,
I would try it. I would do it.
Well, sure.
But
so
the JUCO
how
years,
would you?
Well, here's what people like Dave think, which I get confused on this too, because there's so much stuff flying at you, and it's like a different day and there's a different ruling. It's not that your junior college years. I mean, the way to phrase this thing is the Pavia court ruling is not that your JUCO years don't count, but that JUCO players get 1 extra year of eligibility. That's what he sued and won. That's all. It wasn't that, Joey Football was over there 3 years, so he's going to get an extra year because they're going to get out in a 4th year. I mean, you're dealing with a guy and I love the guy. I call him Joey Football. I love the guy.
I would love to see Joey Aguilar back as Tennessee's quarterback in 2026.
And, John, if I were Tennessee, I would probably sue to do it. I would fund a lawsuit to do that. Why wouldn't you? You don't even tell anybody you're funding it. Just fund it. Just see if you can get it in the courts and let's go have some fun. But I don't. Dave's acting like it's a slam dunk, and I'm just telling you, I looked into it last night. I don't think it's a slam dunk. I think it's going to take an act of the courts, and who knows? But I don't think it's a slam dunk. Back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome into our next call. You are live on our Tuesday edition. John Adams is presented by Jennifer Morris. Next move, SmokyMountains.com. You buying, selling, or trading? Don't you dare do it without contacting the great Jennifer Morris. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Tony, are you going to be doing some remotes from McCovey Cove?
Maybe me and Tony will be out there paddling around on one of those boats on his off day, Freddie Jack.
That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. John, you covered Major League Baseball day in and day out back in your Pittsburgh Post-Gazette days. What would you think, John, Tony Vols would think of day in and day out riggers of Major League Baseball, John? Could you imagine that?
Well, Tony Vitello is so super competitive. The guy hates to lose.
Yes.
When you play 162 games, you're going to lose a lot of them. The greatest teams in the history of the sport will lose a lot of games. I can't imagine Tony Vitello wanting to embrace that lifestyle. Also, San Francisco.
Well,
I mean, seriously, you want to go live in San Francisco right now?
The other thing about Tony is that he makes like $3 million a year here, and the last guy at San Francisco made $4 million a year, which in real dollars, by the time they get done with you out there with their government, which means he makes about $1.5 million. It's kind of like the Nico effect. Nico's making about $400,000 right now after being in a state where he didn't have an income tax. Big dummy. But go ahead, Freddie. I'm sorry.
Well, and two, I mean, he's loading up with number one recruiting classes.
Exactly.
You can't do that in MLB unless maybe you're the Dodgers or the Phillies or somebody like that.
That's right. That's right. These teams that buy their pennant. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the stadium
like
stuff and all that.
It's like when Saban or
production.
whoever went to the pros, he didn't have the best, you just can't load up on 5-star after 5-star. You got to take what you can get.
I totally agree
and think
with
about
that.
the lifestyle.
Yep.
If you're a Major League Baseball coach. The constant travel. Airplane travel. I mean, good Lord. Look at how Tony operates now. He's a huge sports fan. He goes to all kind of sporting events. He's got and he can do that as a baseball coach, a college baseball coach.
Yep.
He couldn't do that as a Major League Baseball coach. Think about it. Your season starts in February with spring training, and if you're fortunate enough to make the playoffs, it can go deep into October. It's just, I can't imagine him having any interest. Why are we even talking about this? Because his name was mentioned?
The Athletic says, and the guy that wrote it is a former writer for the San Francisco Chronicle who is a really respected beat writer who said I don't have his name in front of me, but he said that
highly respected.
He said he is highly respected, but he said that Tony is being considered because this could be a new thing. The Giants are turning over every leaf, yada, yada, yada. And he's a guy they have identified from the collegiate ranks who might have the psychographics and the profile for such an endeavor. Because it is a different animal, college baseball, obviously, and that deal. I just think that's something that would sound great on paper. Tony would be so miserable by July if he tried that. And look, I think he could do it. I think he could do it and succeed, John. I think that guy can win at anything he wants to win at. I don't blame them for turning over that stone. Do you guys? I don't blame them for that.
I think he'd be more likely to if he were maybe closer to 60 than he is right now. Maybe after he accomplishes a little bit more at the college level, wins a couple more national championships.
Yeah.
Maybe you think about it as you get up towards 60, but I don't think he would right now.
I find Tony to be one of the top 5 brightest people that I've ever been around in any of these things. And I think he could succeed at anything he does. So it's not that. I just think he would be completely miserable. I think it's something that sounds great on paper, but then you got to live the life once you sign that contract. And like John said, I think that would swallow that poor guy. He would be miserable, man.
Also, hey, Tony, even if he won the world championship out there, he would never be the toast of the town like he is here.
Oh, no. Are you kidding? No.
Well, yeah, and also just think about it. Managers in Major League Baseball. When you're a manager, when you're a coach in college baseball, look who gets all the credit for Tennessee's success. Most of the credit. It's the coach.
That's right.
He's the one that built the program. He took it from the bottom of the SEC to the top of college baseball.
That's right.
He's the one that recruited these players. He's the one that got these transfers. He gets all the recognition for that, deservedly so. In Major League Baseball, I probably can't even name 5 managers.
Don't do it,
Tony. They hire you to fire you in Major League Baseball.
Don't do it, Tony. Don't do it, Tony.
They hire you. He's never getting fired at Tennessee, but they'll They'll fire you in Major League Baseball no matter what you've accomplished 2 years later.
Don't do it, Tony. Freddie Jack. Freddie, let me ask you something. Because you and I go way back, brah. Okay?
Way back.
Way back. Why you giggle when you say way back?
I remember the first time I listened to your show, Tony.
What'd you think?
30 plus years ago.
What did you think? First time you heard me, what'd you think?
Oh, I thought, boy, this is going to be a great ride.
A great what?
A great ride.
Interesting. Freddie, do you will you join me in this? That you would come over here and console me if it happened? Could I count on you? Could I count on you to come over and give me a hug?
Well, no, because I think Jake had it only partially right when he said, Laura would be the happiest person when Tony left, but it wouldn't be happy because Tony left. It'd be because you're going with him.
Freddie, you're out of here. Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on our Tuesday edition.
Hey, Tony B, Bobby.
Hey, welcome in, brother.
I like that you're, what did you say yesterday, a divider, not a uniter, or was it the other way around? I really appreciate that.
Yes,
Big
sir.
fan.
Yes, sir.
I'll get to that in a minute, but I'd like to say this about Tony Vitello. I thought about it last night when I read that article. That would really gut that athletic department emotionally. He is a huge cog in that wheel that drives a lot of that. I mean, he fires people at the football games. He's always at basketball games. He's a big deal around campus. He's the big man on campus.
John, do you agree with that, John? That Tony has a ubiquitous presence there that's felt throughout the deal?
Well, I know he does with the fan base. He's the most popular coach over there by far. I mean, they have other good coaches, other popular coaches, but Tony Vitello's a rock star here.
A rock star.
And
exactly.
And he would, yeah. And Tony Vitello, think about it. It would make absolutely no sense. He would take a pay cut to go coach San Francisco because of when I'm talking about bring home pay, would have to pay in taxes out there?
14.3% state income tax.
Woo! 14.3%. Woo!
Yeah, and you want to live in that city? Those problems are well documented.
It's a beautiful
mess out there.
It's a beautiful city, though.
Sausalito's a lot better, Tony. I'd live across
not
the
when
bridge.
You start walking around in it right now.
It's a beautiful city, guys.
You better have your knee-high boots if you're going to walk around in it. You know what I mean?
No kidding.
And the other thing it does, John, if you'll oblige me to ask you this, does it not just absolutely hand tie his superpower? His superpower is his magnetic personality and players wanting to play for him, his ability to recruit. That's really his superpower. I mean, I think he's a fine baseball coach, but I don't think he's elite strategist or anything. I think he would admit that.
Yeah, I think he's a good strategist. I don't know, but you know what? What you say, that's so accurate. Guys want to play for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's got guys. Well, they're guys in the major leagues who still feel a strong connection to Tony Vitello. When you see players, coaches' players who years after he stopped coaching them, and they've gone on and done other things, and they still have a strong connection to that coach.
Oh yeah.
That tells you what a great job he did. He cares about his players, and players understand that. There's no faking that. And you're right. In Major League Baseball, I mean, it just wouldn't be the same.
No. And as Brian said, they'll fire you at the drop of a hat. They don't like the color shirt you wore that day or whatever.
Well, especially now, another thing that Tony would have is a Major League Baseball front office that tells him what lineup to play and what lineup not to play. Some nerd.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
Some nerd that went to some Ivy League school, some Ivy League squint-eyed punk clown nerd.
Don't he throw them out the window?
That thinks he knows more sports than his father, who's been doing this for 30-plus years, Some nerd, some Ivy League nerd telling you who to play, who to pull, who not to pull, who to pitch, who to do this, who to do that. I could see Tony going for that for about 5 seconds.
Well, Tony's a field
I just
coach
get
too, right?
depressed thinking about that. I mean, this is just he's not going to San Francisco. There's no way.
Well, I don't know.
Yep.
Stranger things have happened.
All right. One quick point, Tony, and then I'll get to Dave. Tony, if you blind tested Chris Brazel's numbers against every other wide receiver in college football, including the Smith kid at Ohio State, and you blind tested it and you just put it in front of random people, would Chris Brazel's odds to win the Heisman be plus 18,000 today?
He's having an unbelievable year. And if I were them against Arkansas, I'd throw 4 long balls at him and let's keep the party going. And then when you get back in a real football game, I would absolutely throw 2 extra balls per game at him till this heater ends. Because this guy's on a heater of all heaters.
Yep. I agree, 100%. He's Jalen Hyatt circa Alabama game 3 years ago.
It's crazy.
Hot right now.
Those 2 plays he made Saturday were nuts. That ball behind him, that was nuts.
Yep. Oh, the 4th down catch, one of the best catches you'll ever see. And in a crucial moment. Won us the game. As far as Negadave's concerned, first of all, I was just blown away. I thought he was just committed to the bit. I don't make light of mental health, and I apologize to him for making light of that. That was unfair. Also, he doesn't know me. I may sound young, so I appreciate that, buddy. I'm a non-participation trophy Gen Xer who has 3 teenagers. So I don't know how to tell you that I'm not young in any way. And I would say it to your face if I really believed it, but I was just making a joke, so I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. We want to unite, not divide here. With that said, that man, are you there, Tone?
Go ahead.
He just compared Josh Heupel to Billy Napier and Hugh Freeze because they call plays on their offense. And by that logic, I believe he was saying he deserves to be fired because they're going to be fired. I just want to make sure that's the way I heard it because I don't want to misspeak because I misspoke yesterday. He's right. He said he was slightly better than Butch Jones, which in my vernacular would be he's about Derek Dooley good. And I still don't believe that. With that said, I do apologize. I won't make light of that anymore, but I would say it to your face if I truly believed it.
Go on. I think Dave's a nut myself. But we're going to come back. He's my nut, though. He's like our crazy uncle we have. Crazy cousin. Crazy. You'd be like, John, he's in your family. Be like, Negadave, Uncle Negadave's coming over Saturday night. And you'd be going, yeah, okay, Uncle Negadave's coming. Better grab some Advil. We continue with more. I love you, Negadave, on the other side after this.
Guests appear on the TLD Logistics Hotline. Online at tldlogistics.com.
Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company-paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dos with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted Grade A Grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Fall officially begins this month, so now is the perfect time to make sure your home's HVAC system is ready for the season ahead. Don't ignore the warning signs that your heating or cooling system is struggling or nearing the end of its lifespan. And if you need fast, reliable HVAC repairs, seasonal preventative maintenance, or want to invest in a new high-efficiency system, then call the trusted HVAC experts at Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Whatever HVAC problems you encounter, our certified technicians will make a full assessment and then provide the best long-term solution to keep your home comfortable again all year long. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. Be sure to ask about our 10-plus year warranties that are 2 times longer than industry standards so you don't spend a cent on unexpected costs in the future. So call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morse here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight. So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club team start at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we are the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our tryouts last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City,
Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you've actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth only drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of the triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw premium vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, and just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw Premium Vodka. Please drink responsibly.
Let's freaking go as I welcome you back. 865-200-5402. Fan running with you. William Patterson's up next. Dubsy after that. Shout out to Dubsy and the gang. Bob Baskerville, you're my man. Let's go back to our phones and get our next call in on your TLD Logistics phone lines. And we keep it rolling today on a day where I admire how great college football is. This season I knew was going to be insane. It's way worse than I thought it was going to be. And I'm a chaos guy. I like a little chaos with my turkey on Thanksgiving. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, make a day. If I got a message, I'll tell you. If there's anybody here you're going to compare to Butch Jones, it isn't Josh Heupel. If you want to compare somebody to Butch Jones, it's Brian Callahan.
Have the Titans made the move yet, Bill?
If they lose coming Sunday, I think that Adam Strunk needs to use her head for something besides a hat rack.
Bill,
and give him the pink slip.
Bill, have the Titans made the move yet?
No.
Nashville.
Hey, Bill, is your phone at a new low or something?
Let him hang on. Yeah.
Nashville Lee called in yesterday and said that the Titans are 3-18 versus the spread under this coach, John. Now, you know the NFL. Those lines are made to go 50-50, okay?
Okay.
Well, sure.
Can you hear me okay?
When you're 3-18 against the spread in your career
Your
as a
phone's
coach,
even worse now, Bill. Go ahead.
and in your second season, you got beat 26-0. Who beat you on Sunday, Bill?
The Houston Texans.
Who blow? Starting the season. How
Tony,
glad,
can you hear Bill okay?
How it's look, back in the day, John, I grew up listening to Static and the AM radio. When I first got to know Laura, she goes, "How do you hear that?" I'd be like listening to a ball game from Philly on WCAU back in the day, and she'd go,
"Yeah,
you are not." And I said, "Yeah, I don't even hear that static. It's like working at like at a music store. You work at a music store.
Okay,
you don't hear that kid over there. You don't hear Titans Bills snap, crackle, and pop. In fact, you don't even hear Titans Bill after a while, John. You know what I mean?"
Yeah, I can understand.
Hear me now?
So, John, you don't even hear him. Like, can you imagine, John, that the Titans are 3-18 versus the spread under this coach? Like, what that means?
That's pretty phenomenal. Because,
That's incredible.
As you said, those NFL lines are set to go 50-50.
Yes.
They'll take their 10% gladly.
If the Titans
since Titans Bill opened with a Butch Jones reference.
Yeah, I didn't hear him.
And Titans Bill is a movie buff.
Yes.
What actor would play Butch Jones in the movie? The story of Butch Jones. Who would play him? Titans Bill.
Who do you got?
Well, he's dead now. I was going to say 19.
Well put.
Omar Sharif? No, I don't think Omar Sharif.
Well, if Frank Sutton's still alive, it'd be him, Sergeant Carter.
Who is it, Bill? Who'd you say? This is pure art, man.
What in the world is wrong with Titans Bill's
I don't
phone?
know, but
This is the worst I've ever heard
Let's revisit that maroon in the third hour. He's taking up my precious time. Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on the air.
Tony, I'm on a sailboat halfway to Catalina, and I'm guessing my signal's better than Bill's.
I'm guessing Bill, yes. I don't know what Bill's on, but whatever it is, he's not going to get an endorsement deal for him for that service. Because,
gosh.
I mean, that was Bill. No offense to you, but you are a hindrance, my brother.
I'm pretty sure that's Nextel.
How many listeners do you think you lost while Titans Bill was trying to talk?
You probably lose more when he's got a good cell connection.
Bronny is right. Harsh. That's the best Bill calling forever, because hearing him keep interrupting and saying, "Okay, can you hear me?" made my day. He said it at least 6 times, and Tony just kept on going. John, absolute poetry. It was, chef's kiss.
Wait a minute. You said that where did you say you were?
I was making a joke. I'm not real. I said I'm on a sailboat halfway to Catalina, but I'm in my man cave.
All right.
Just making light. Never let the truth stand in the way of a good story, John.
No, you said Catalina
Island.
I know. I really like Catalina Island. Hadn't been there in a long time, but I like it.
It's amazing. We try to get out there like once every 3 or 4 months. It's amazing. And then it's a nothing boat ride. It's a 45-minute ferry ride from Long Beach. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I went there a couple of times.
Only got a 9-hole golf course, though. It's dumb. There's plenty of room for them to have 18 holes of golf out there, but they don't. But anyway, ranking the SEC teams, I just have one opinion. Georgia could be in serious trouble, guys, and it's going to hurt Tennessee's strength of schedule if it's so. But unless Stockton figures out how to beat a zone, like throw against the zone, understand what he's looking at, and find a guy open in the zone, because their guys get open in zone. It happens. If you get protection, somebody gets open. It's just part of it. But you have to know what you're looking at, read it correctly, and then go know where your guy's at to throw to. And Stockton just doesn't have a clue. It's really, really bad on film. He does not know what he's doing. And if that's the case, everybody's just going to throw zone at him the rest of the year. And Ole Miss is going to beat him. Texas is going to beat him. Georgia has a really good chance of having 3 or 4 losses unless he figures it out.
Is there a scenario, guys, where we go?
That's a fair point.
If we go 10-2, guys, and that happens, and you're right, do we make the playoffs?
It hurts us bad, man. It makes it really, really tough. Now, I'm still with Josh Pate. Josh Pate still swears that an SEC team's getting in the playoffs at 9-3, because it's going to cannibalize itself. There's going to be all the 2 losses SEC teams are going to get in, and some 9-3 SEC teams going to get in. So I still think at 10-2 we do, based on I think Josh Pate's usually pretty good at what he does.
I think the game Tennessee needs to circle right now is Oklahoma. Because with Oklahoma's schedule,
100%.
if Oklahoma beat Tennessee and it's 9-3 and Tennessee is 10-2, Oklahoma should go in the playoff out of Tennessee. There's no doubt about it, based on strength of schedule.
Agreed.
And a head-to-head win. And Oklahoma, I think, will fade. I think Mateer's already going to miss some time. He'll come back, and they've asked so much of him. So I don't think Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma 8-4 would be a good year for Oklahoma with that schedule. You're right about Georgia, though. However, Georgia plays Ole Miss in Athens.
And Texas.
Plays Texas in Athens.
In Athens, yeah.
So it just splits those 2 games, those 2 home games. It's not going to lose to Florida and Jacksonville. I don't think it can lose to Auburn now, the way Auburn's fading. Kentucky, certainly not. So to me, Georgia's got a really good shot at the playoff at going 10-2. Yeah, although
I agree.
Georgia might be really concerned about Georgia Tech in Atlanta.
That's another good one, man. That's another good point. But Texas's defense is really, really good. Ole Miss is playing really well. And if Stockton doesn't figure it out, even at home, even as Georgia being the scary Death Star that we all think they are, because of the last 5 years, those both will get dicey. We were talking on my little thing I do Sunday, and Gerard Parrish stepped on, former, VFL Gerard Parrish, and he said on that last drive, Heupel did not want to run his kicker out on the field at the end of that ball game. We actually, on the first down, when we got across midfield, 2 plays before we handed it off with like 13 seconds and got the first down, 2 plays earlier on first down, we took a shot downfield to Staley that got deflected. And if Aguilar would have led Staley a little further out, it was a touchdown. Heupel was trying to score a touchdown or go to overtime. He was not wanting to put that on Max's shoulder and give him another chance. And I think Parrish might be right. I don't know if it's the right answer, because I think an aggressive coach in that situation would say, hey, I'm going to let my kicker go get his swagger back by hitting a walk-off. But anyway, that was VFL Gerard Parrish's thoughts.
And Rusty, I appreciate you. I want to talk about that in our overtime, because if that's the case, get a new kicker. If that's the case, then you go get a new kicker. You can't coach that way, and you can't think that way. So, and he's saying that's his opinion, the VFL. And hey, I mean, the thing is, from Rusty's perspective, and he's right, what we saw made no sense. It makes no football sense. It just makes no sense. Let alone football sense. It just, like when you're talking to somebody and they tell you something and you kind of look at them and you go, okay, I'm glad you believe that, but that makes, like, taking 28 seconds off a clock there without taking a timeout flies in the face of anything that makes any kind of sense. Except you tell me, hey, I don't want to put this guy in the spot. But if that's the case, then I would say, and I'm going to ask John and Bry this and then the callers, if that's the case, then you get a new kicker. You get a new kicker. I mean, you can't comport yourself that way. My main man, William Pattison, if William Pattison's a stock, I'm buying him. I'm telling you that right now. I'm buying as much William Pattison as I can get. The playbook's up next on Fan Run. We stay here at tclub.team and continue to break it down scientifically. Love.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
Come on now. Hey, John, if that's the case, it's new kicker time, man.
Tony, back to this thing about calling plays and clock management.
It's TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime.
You hear him talking
presented
over
by TLD Logistics.
You think he is Bino?
Online at tldlogistics.com.
Right, does Sean think he's Bino?
Yeah.
And now let's
about
go
the
to
kicker.
the guys with today's edition of TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime.
The kicker. Go ahead, Bry. Tell me about the kicker here.
He's 8 of 10. He's very capable. He's 8 of 10, but his misses are just magnified because they've been in key spots. So he's definitely, it's not like he struggled. He missed the biggest kick of the year, obviously.
Well, and Gerard Parrish, listen, he might have something. Because that clock management, John, is some of the worst nonsense we've ever seen here. And I love this guy. I am 100% for Josh Heupel, not against him. I'm telling you, these guys are now going to, somebody in my ear screaming when to call timeout at me. Somebody should have jumped in there on Saturday and said, get a timeout. Unless this Gerard Parrish thing, this little theory, that's the thing about, John, when you see something nonsensical like that, is you look for a theory to explain it. And that could be. I mean, that would make as much sense as anything. Hey, I don't want to put this on this guy. To me, though, if that's the case, then you go get a different guy. Because you got to have players that are playable. Like, you wouldn't say that about a wide receiver you threw the ball to. Hey, I don't want to throw the ball to this guy right now. He might fumble it or he might drop it. You know what I mean, John? Like, to me, if the guy's on my roster, and these days I'm paying you, and I'll put you out there, and I'm going to let you kick that ball, and if you can't kick it, I'll get somebody else that can kick it. I mean, to me, that's my read on it. Yes or no? What do you think? Is John there? What happened to John on me there? What do you think, John? Have the
John Adams.
Have the Gremlins gotten John, Bry?
I think John's had a perfect connection all day until now, it looks like.
Maybe he done got swallowed up. It's TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime where we talk about it like, I don't know. But we continue to talk about it. I got to work with Bill. I hope John gets back in here because I want to work with Bill on his technical issues today. Hey, John, do you want to troubleshoot Bill today? Are you having your own technical problems? Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on the air.
How my friend's compatriots doing today?
There he is.
Technical difficulties going on, Tony.
I guess.
Tony, about this analytics and stuff, I know somebody that was on the sideline the Georgia game, and he said Kirby Smart had a guy by him with a tablet doing analytics, and Kirby the entire game was looking at him saying, "What does it say we do now?"
Isn't that interesting? I believe
and
that.
The guy, my friend said, do no coaches go by their gut feeling anymore or the feel of the game? I said, I don't know. I have no idea.
It's a modern way of doing everything. We've turned everything over to numbers and computers and geeks.
And like you said, the guy's probably getting paid $75,000 to do it. You know, analyst.
And these Ivy geeks at that who think they know more sports than their father, who been doing this for been watching sports 50 years.
Yeah.
You know?
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
I hope that's not what we're doing. But I am with you, Tony. If he's calling the plays, he just needs to have a guy talk about the clock the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Yes.
If you're calling the plays, you need to be aware of the clock because that's going to affect what play you call. You can't just ignore the clock. If you're calling plays, you better know what the time is.
I don't think he would ignore the clock, but he's not paying attention.
He's got Titans Bill's phone.
Is my phone locked Titans Bill now?
You sound great.
But anyhow, that's like I said, John, yesterday, I'm happy we're 4-1. I think if we go 10-2, we're in. Unless there happens to be some weird thing where there's 16 10-2 teams that are Power 4, and I don't see that happening. People are going to beat each other up. And the only one I'm worried about is Notre Dame running the table, and there people be pushing for them to be in.
Yeah.
Are you there, guys?
Notre Dame has one game against USC that they might lose. I don't know if their schedule is going to do them worse than 9-3. It ain't going to allow that.
Well, they could be 10-2 if they run the table. That's what I'm worried about.
Yes.
But anyhow, if there was a 16-team playoff based on the coaches poll right now, the SEC would have 8 teams in it. Big Ten 4. So there you go. That's why the Big Ten wants automatic bids, and we don't need them. We don't need them in the SEC, automatic bids.
No,
Tony,
you don't need automatic bids. What you do need, though, is you need replay to be televised, and we need more transparency out of this league. And Josh Heupel needs to get some more calls.
Yeah, I agree with that. Replay needs to be more transparent. And if a person up in the booth can tell the refs this is what happens, to me, that ought to be the final call.
Exactly.
Because even if the ref's on the field, there could be 2 of them not see it real well. And the guy in the booth can look at it and say, this is really what happened, and go with that.
That replay the other day, W. Lynn, was horrendous, a disgrace and disgusting. That they did not allow that touchdown to take place when this Brazel guy, who is just on an absolute world-level heater, hauled in that ball, and they called that interference on him. Come on now.
Yeah.
You know it?
Oh, I agree. It was awful. And, the guy running down the sideline didn't throw the flag, but if you think about it, he's running like the equivalent of a 50-yard dash and trying to turn around and look at it. So I'm not sure he saw it real well either, but the guy 30 yards away sure didn't see it.
No
he threw the flag as hard as he could, and it probably was still 20 yards from the play.
John, have you seen the ACC replay and what they're doing right now?
Yes, I like that.
It's neat. It's really
neat. You
got
to have replay.
It's neat. And C called me over the weekend after he said, well, we saw it together, but he said, here's my epiphany on it. You don't even realize that you're watching a stoppage of the game because it's a part of the game. When you're watching that replay official and that guy on the field talk with each other about what they each see, you don't even feel like it's a stoppage of the game. It's a part of the game. It's of interest to you. Versus some,
I still feel like it's stoppage of the game.
I like it.
It's more interesting than watching somebody stare at a monitor, but
no doubt about it. Or hear Bill Lemonier while the guy stares at the monitor say this is going to be the call, and when it's the opposite call, Bill Lemonier comes back and tells you, well, that was the right call. No, which is it, Bill? Which is it here? Come on now, Bill.
XFL that they would let the man in the booth make the final call.
Oh, I didn't know that. I just thought they talked about it.
But that man in the booth could tell them this is what really happened. Yeah, they showed it. And they do stop action on the and they'd say this is what happened. So that's what we need to go to. But yeah, you're right. Josh Heupel's not getting calls.
No,
I don't get it. But
I thought that Brazil got away with that offensive pass interference against Georgia.
Oh, I agree with that, John. I do think he got away. And maybe that's why. Wow. Maybe that's
Make-up call?
Maybe that's why they called it, because they were looking for it, anticipating he was going to do it again.
Like I said, that doesn't get called at Neyland.
Oh, no.
It gets called on the road.
It really shouldn't get called on the road, Bri. That's the point. It wasn't even a foul. But W. Lynn, you're the man. And Take My Breath Away by Leif Garrett. And I don't know what to say. You take my... What is that? Take My Breath Away? No, that's Berlin. Who else does a Take My Breath Away, Bri?
I know Every Breath You Take by the Police.
Every Breath You Take's a great jam in A-flat. Dun, 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 dun. And what Sting liked to do is he liked to use those 9 chords, add 9s all over the place.
I'm enjoying the musical conversation, but I'm wondering if there's something wrong with my connection, because part of W. Lynn's call sounded as though he was underwater.
No, he goes in and out. His phone goes in and out.
Oh, okay.
And then sometimes it sounds like he's like in a wind tunnel. But I do want to do one thing here. We'll get a couple more calls in, and then we're going to do a Titans Bill. We're going to troubleshoot him. We're going to try and help Titans Bill be technically better at some point.
What would be a cool thing to do would be to record a conversation between W. Lynn and Titans Bill on their phones.
Back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome, and see if they can understand each other while they're talking.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome into our next call, and then see if we could understand what they're saying. But hello and welcome into our next call. You're on the air.
I think I heard the beep. Is it me?
It is you.
Fantastic. Hey, this is Seattle again, calling back in. It's been a few weeks.
Hey, thank you, my brother. It's always good to hear from a guy that's got great takes like you.
Hey, 2 things, very important things that have been discussed in the past couple of weeks. First of all, you indicated that you do not like the song Chevy Van by Sammy Johns.
Which is
next
level.
That is one of the greatest 70 jams ever.
God! John,
I disagree with you on that.
John, are you a Chevy Van guy?
No.
No, that's a song I can't speak. Doesn't speak to me.
Good golly, guys, come on now. Anyway, great '70s jam.
But
love it.
I do
The
remember conversion bands with beds in the back and curtains. I'm old enough to remember that.
No, the song. Do you guys hate the song too?
Yeah, I hate the song, but I do remember the conversion vans with the little window in the back and the curtains.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And they had
Oh,
a
yeah.
mattress
Okay,
back there. The free-loving '70s.
Exactly. The
Yes.
tune. It's a great tune. But the
We
other
made
thing
love
is,
in my Chevy van, and that's all right.
the biggest missed call in NFL history was Drew Pearson pushing off on Nate Wright and catching that ridiculous throw from Roger Staubach.
Yes.
And from that point on, we had nothing but the Dallas Cowboys every single week on our TV for the next 10 years.
What year was that? I referenced that the other
It was
day.
December 28th, 1975.
Let's go. A young Tony Basilio remembers that. And I remember when the bottle, so I would have been, 9 years old. The bottle came out of the stands for that line judge and hit him right in his head when he didn't make that
I am
call.
never a fan of violence, but you know what? That Turgeon blew that call, and I don't know.
Are you a Vikes fan? Are you a Vikings fan?
I used to be.
That's
I used
cool.
to be.
So you remember everything about it. That old, because that was in that old municipal stadium, right?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. But you watched the tape, and Pearson pushed off as big as he could have. Nate Wright did not trip. He fell, and that started that ridiculous Cowboys run in the 70s where if you lived in the South, you saw them every single week.
Hey, John, do you remember that particular play, John, when Pearson just absolutely shoved him, caught a touchdown, and they won the game?
Yeah, I remembered it. I think I was pulling for Dallas in that game, so it didn't bother me.
And the line judge, John, got hit in the head with a bottle and just got knocked out. And it was literally a bottle. Like today, they would throw a styrofoam cup at you. Back then, it was a bottle.
Sorry.
You go ahead.
He actually the same judge actually blew a call was his last year in the league in 1988 that knocked the Cowboys out of contention. So there was some just equivalence in the universe.
Let's freaking go, man! For you to remember that, let's go.
But
what year was
with
this?
Respect to Heupel,
75.
December
was the year.
28th, 1975. I know the date, but with Heupel, what I've come to the conclusion, and I love Heupel too. I'm a big Heupel fan. I think he came along at exactly the right time. He pulled the program out of the doldrums, and he'll never buy a meal in my presence. I'll just put it that way. But Heupel, at his core, is reactive. He is not proactive. And if you're expecting him to take actions, to get out there and find players and get out there and beat the bushes and work the refs, and you're expecting him to be a magnificent game manager, that's not his personality, which is a little weird for a quarterback, but that's what I've noticed with him. He reacts very well to things that happen, but he is not proactive. The two quarterbacks that he's got that have worked his system more or less fell into his lap. He did not get those quarterbacks. So, Tony, if you're expecting him to go out there and get a kicker to solve this problem, I hate to tell you, brother, that's just not going to happen. He is, in my view, he is a reactive person, not proactive, and you need to set your expectations accordingly. Now, he's a great coach. When he has tools and talent, and he's got the ability to make things happen, he can absolutely win. He is a winner, and he's got a charm about him in most circumstances that's going to win.
Yeah.
But he is just not a proactive guy.
John, your read on what our gentleman from Seattle is saying. You agree or disagree?
I've never really thought about it that way. I do agree that Josh Heupel hasn't identified the right quarterbacks for his system, which we talked about before, and that's really, really odd. I would like to we're talking about Max Gilbert here, his kicking. Brian, what did you say his field goal percentage was?
He's 8 of 10.
He's 8 of 10 on the year, and he's made every extra point of his career.
Okay, so it's not like you got a kicking crisis going on here. What was
No,
it?
no.
He missed a 42, 43 yarder against Georgia. Then he hit one basically the same distance at OT. Missed one against Mississippi State. I mean, I don't think of this. I can't believe that Josh Heupel wouldn't have any confidence in his kicker at this point.
Yeah, the context is that and hang on, Seattle, one sec, just for people just kind of popping in here. The context is that Rusty called and said that somebody shared with him that was played here, Parrish, I believe he said, wore the uniform, said, hey, this is my opinion. I think that Heupel didn't want to put him in that spot to kick that field goal. They were playing for a touchdown there. And who knows? Who knows?
That makes no sense.
Well, it wouldn't make sense to me because I would not have a kicker that I didn't have faith in. But go ahead, Seattle. You want to say.
And I don't think there's a kicker crisis at all. I think the kid's doing a great job. I'm just saying if you're expecting Heupel, I mean, think about his working the portal. There's other coaches identify talent. They do the things that you're not supposed to do to get the players they want into the portal, and then they grab them out of the portal.
Correct.
We talk about correctly Heupel reacting to what the portal offers.
That's right.
And
that's
it's
a great.
just
Now that's a great
approach.
point. That's a great
that's
point,
a fair
John.
assessment.
That's very fair. Yes, that's a great point. Because very seldom do we walk people into the portal and get them, especially under this guy in like early December, which is when you start seeing all that stuff. And to Seattle's point, the whole handling of the Nico thing was a reactive handling by Heupel and not a proactive hype. If one of these alpha proactive guys would have had what happened to them, they would have walked that kid and his son into the office and said, "You're doing what now? We paid you $4 million. We paid you $2 million to sit here last year. Get your ass out of here." And they would have already had a quarterback. It's pretty interesting.
And finally,
what
I'll just
saying.
say this: coaching changes. You know, if you're looking for Heupel to shake up his staff and make coaching changes and get rid of bestest buddies and, you know, do the things that sometimes you have to do to win, I would be surprised if that ever occurs. And it says a lot to his loyalty. There's a lot to love about this coach.
I like him.
But I don't think he's the type that's going to shake up his staff either, because two reasons. One, loyalty. Two, that whole reactive, proactive thing. So, but you know what? We got a great coach. We got a lot of talent on this team, and we got a chance to make the playoffs. So let's go.
You know, the one argument I would say to you, though, or maybe this is reactive, they completely have altered their offense. Now, did they completely alter their offense because people called the cops on their party and they knew they had to? Which I guess is reactive, or was them changing their offense, shortening the splits, using the middle of the field, essentially in these huge games, you know, in the real games we've seen. Now, they're still doing the wide splits against the teams they can run by. John, is that reactive or proactive, doing that?
I didn't know we'd get into a reactive, proactive debate. I just think, I thought the caller made a really good point, though, about portal, the transfer portal.
Yes. Most of these schools walk guys into the portal and then take them in the SEC and then take them out of the portal.
Yeah, look what Texas did in the spring. It
exactly
got the
right.
defensive lineman from Syracuse after the portal. I mean, and Lane Kiffin got Trinidad Chambliss
and Tobago
out of the portal at the very end. He got in at the very end of the time frame there to enter the portal.
And here's the other thing. Here's the other thing too about the whole what Texas did. Now that loophole is going to be changed when they go to that one window deal they're talking about. If that holds,
will that hold up in court, Tony?
I don't
Do you think that one window? How will that hold up?
Hell no, it won't hold up for 5 seconds because they haven't collected bargain to anything. So, but let's just say for the sake of the argument that becomes the rule. That will keep a tech, because the reason Texas did what they did is they got to look at their 2 guys they got in the portal, and neither one of them they determined could play. So they went and got one of the best football players off Syracuse's roster And that's life in the fast lane these days. Now,
Yeah,
is that being proactive or reactive, John, when you see that a guy can't play and you go get a guy? I'd say that the guy at Texas is pretty proactive, though, when it comes to the transfer portal.
Yeah, you could say it's proactive and reactive.
Yeah, they walk guys in all the time. That is Seattle, you've got me thinking. I'm gonna have to wake up in the middle of the night considering what's proactive or reactive, and I gotta sit on that for a while before I say, yeah, I 100% agree with you, because Tennessee altering their offense this offseason, I think it's pretty proactive. Then again, I think about it, the cops kind of got called with the high safety stuff that's going on, and maybe that's reactive.
Well, they didn't really do much except for 3 years after, 2 years after they actually caught up with it, we think. Because they did pretty much what they always tried to do last year.
They won 10 games playing that way. Of course, they had to work.
It could have been the quarterback dependent, but
they had to work around their quarterback and their passing game. The other thing that's really interesting about this Brazil guy is he was completely unplugged when Nico was here, just behind the scenes, everything. It just was. It's really interesting how the makeup of the wide receiver, when those guys know they're going to be involved. Did you guys see A.J. Brown's tweet about Philadelphia and about how he's not getting the ball right now? And it went viral. Like 2.3 million people saw it. Bri, did you see it? He basically said, if I have something controversial to say or about something, these guys all talking generalities, but they're referencing what's going on. I'm just going to keep it to myself and just walk away and swallow it. As if to say, I'm no longer getting the ball, but I'm not going to be a distraction. I'm just going to put it on Twitter here so 2.3 million people can see it. And you have to love this era we're living in, John, of the whole passive-aggressive professional athlete. And wide receivers are so like that. To be fair to the Brazil guy, Brazel, if you're getting the ball, okay, it's easy to stay plugged in. I guess, just thinking about it, when he was at Tulane, he had a quarterback that could get him the ball, which is what Tennessee saw and found him. Now, he doesn't have the greatest work habits in the world. He doesn't. But this year, he is making every damn catch, John, possible. He's got to be having the best year of any wide receiver in the country, right? He's got to be.
Yeah, he's fifth in pass receiving yards per game. And
who are the other guys above him? If you're looking at that list, who are guys above him?
The guys above him are, let's see, Danny Scudero, household name from San Jose State.
Yeah, these are going to be guys that don't play anybody. Go ahead.
Mario Craver of Texas A&M. He's a Mississippi State transfer I mentioned. Speed guy. He's having a great year. Mekhi Lemon from Southern Cal. That guy's super talented.
Oh, my gosh.
Cade Harris at Air Force. Are you kidding me?
There you go.
Air Force?
Bring back D. Dowis.
And then Chris Brazell at number 5.
So the other thing about that USC team is that guy wastes more food than anybody at USC. That guy's a food waster. That guy's the most overrated coach maybe in the whole deal. How he
had success. He wasn't overrated at Oklahoma.
He inherited something. Come on. This thing that he's done at USC, that loss last week is really bad. And
it's a horrible loss.
But it fits him. It fit. The night before, a guy that made a incredible catch, juggling the ball going out of bounds, was like the 5th wide receiver at USC last year, that white kid from Virginia, John. That guy was like buried at USC. That's how much offensive talent they have. This Branch
they
guy,
had about
this Branch guy, John, was lost out there. All they did was let him return kicks. And Georgia plays him.
They were like, I was wondering if something had happened to him because I saw him and I remember watching him as a freshman. I thought this guy's going to be a big time star.
Hello.
Then I'm watching the next year, watching the Southern Cal game, and He's hardly playing. They got these receivers. They're all making circus catches. Getting open. But I look at Southern Cal, and this is an opinion cemented from many years of watching Southern Cal. I just think it traditionally, more so than any other program in the country, its teams fail to reach their potential most consistently. I just think there's always talent out there, especially on offense. And it's made some bizarre coaching hires that I didn't understand, but even with seemingly good coaches, the exception was when Pete Carroll was there and it had Reggie Bush. It was as though Reggie Bush was so good, he would just win a game. If they were having one of those humdrum days and they weren't playing up to their level of talent and they were losing to somebody like Oregon State or Fresno State, Reggie Bush would make a play and they would win.
You guys want to riddle me something, John? You talk about USC's defense this year, and because this is why they underachieve under this coach, because he refuses to get a defense. John, if you took USC's defense and UCLA's defense and put them together, how much better would they be? Think about that. Think of all the talent in Southern California right now and how different the game is now. Because all those guys are playing in the SEC now, or they're on other Big Ten teams. Because USC they don't prioritize defensive players under this coach. He just wants to score points. This guy is what I thought Heupel was going to be, John. He's neither reactive nor proactive, the guy at USC. He just sucks. He just sucks. He just kind of sucks. He's a total fake fraud coach, man.
A receiver that I haven't heard much about this year, and that's Ryan Williams at Alabama.
You're right, Brian.
I haven't even hardly heard his name mentioned.
Wait till they play us. You'll hear his name mentioned the time.
Well,
or two.
he was. I remember it was not the Georgia game; it was the game before, and I was watching, and the announcers were pointing out that he's dropping balls over the middle, which is not a good trait to have as a receiver.
He's hearing the voices. The voices inside his head, ladies and gentlemen. The voices are telling me, Basilio, you hit a bet last night. Flyers over the Bruins. The next time they take the ice, you gotta double down. That's what the voices inside my head are telling me. And you can go claim.
You really bet on a hockey game?
No, not just any hockey game, a preseason hockey game. Go claim your VIP play welcome bonus right now. You make your first bet $20 or more, you get $100 in bonus bets. Look, the Vols are off this weekend, but you can be on. And I'm not even sure that the card is all that attractive in major college football, but there are going to be some great surprises, and a great fun way to follow along is by throwing a few shekels down on a few games over at VIP Play. Live always, 200 leagues. They've got specials going for the playoffs that are underway today. Garrett Crochet gets to pitch against the Yankees. That's some heady stuff for a guy that took the mound here for the Vols. That is some heady stuff for the great Garrett Crochet. 200-plus leagues, numerous bet types, props, and options. My friends at VIP Play, everybody gets treated like a VIP at VIP Play. And if you have a gambling problem, 800-889-9789, 21 and over, located in the state of Tennessee to place a bet. Let's go to the phones. Yes, Sean. Not just any game, John, but a preseason game that came down to a shootout, John.
John, what's the worst, betting on a preseason NHL hockey game or listening to an MLS game?
I do listen to Major League Soccer.
Listening to MLS game.
I do listen to Major League Soccer on the radio. Hello and welcome in. You are on our TLD Logistics.
How are you?
Hey, brother, welcome in. You're like on a speaker or something?
Yeah, I'm on my Bluetooth. Let me switch over.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. You sound like Titans Bill.
Is that better?
It's like a combination of
W. Lynn and Titans Bill.
Yeah,
yep.
It's like you fuse the two.
I didn't
together.
really get a chance to call in after the Georgia because it was so busy.
Go for it. Go for it.
But, talking about the kicker in that situation, I think me and everybody watching that game that was pulling for Tennessee felt really bad about him taking that kick after that kid jumped and we got that penalty, because you're putting that kid out there to do something he's never done. Kickers, especially young, got to be in their head. And he's already thinking, okay, I can do this. I'm kicking it from this depth. And then, boom, you're 5 yards back. I think I felt fine about the decision of putting him down there to make the kick. But when we got that penalty, I didn't feel good about it.
Well, you got to be very strong-minded as a kicker. That's pretty obvious. But I think it's way too early to be worried about your kicker when he's 8 for 10 on field goals and doesn't miss
I
extra
agree.
points.
I'm not worried about him, but I think if anybody wants to point a finger, you got to point a finger at the offensive lineman. That was a terrible. But also that same weekend, I think I was watching the Chiefs and the Eagles, and I think guy on the Chiefs jumped, put their kicker back. Of course, he nailed it, but I mean, it happens. It was early in the season.
That's the truth, man. And guys are the thing about college football that's so maddening is we sit around and talk about it 24/7, but yet it is the most random deal in the world. If he doesn't jump there, he probably makes the kick. To your point. The other thing I thought they did is they froze him. It looked to me like and then people are over there talking to him when he's getting ready to kick, which to me, look, sports etiquette, get the hell away from a kicker when he's getting ready to kick a football, man. What are you going to say to him?
No kidding.
Make this kick? Yeah. I mean, those guys don't want you around them.
Yeah.
No, leave them alone.
Leave them alone, man.
That ought to be a team rule. If a coach sees that, he should jerk him away from the guy.
Exactly.
I mean,
get away from him.
Hey, and you all probably can, shoot this down really quick, but I don't know if you've had when you have now I'm not for reviewing up top, decisions made by officials like a hold in the middle of the field or, but when we're talking about pass interference calls in the end zone, I mean, we have the technology. Why don't they take a look and say, okay, that was a terrible call? I mean, if we want to get the damn call right. I mean,
well, to your point, they review scoring plays, right? What about a non-scoring play that should be a scoring play? Like the Brazel thing is a great example of that. As somebody pointed out yesterday, that was a scoring play that was a non-scoring play because they threw a flag. You can look at that. You should be able to look at that.
Yeah, and you should be able to pick up a flag.
Don't you think with pass interference, the way those guys are going at it, they're both grappling for position as they're running downfield. If you start replaying every possible pass interference call, how long is the game going to take?
But he's talking about.
No, I'm talking about in the end zone.
In the end zone only, and you buzz down.
Well, I know, but
I think if it's a big catch in the game, if there's a big catch in the game late that would have negated like a 50-yard gain, you got to look at that too.
No, Brian. So you're wanting Brian now. You're wanting to play 9-hour football games, so I can be up.
Or maybe in the last.
I don't want any of that.
Maybe in the last 2 minutes or last 4 minutes, but it just like I said, when it hurts your side, you definitely wish that they would be able to take a look at that and get the right call on the field.
Oh, well, it's funny you say that because I don't want them to replay the one from the Georgia game because I do think he shoved off on that one. He pushed that DB right out of the way.
No doubt about it. You can make almost every play is a judgment call with pass interference.
I like hand fighting downfield, though. I like them allowing it to go on. And the weird thing is that crew the other day let it go on until Brazel caught that ball. Then all of a sudden we're throwing flags. It's very strange.
Well, I think in most cases they go overboard to help the offensive guy. This was an exception, but in most cases they go the other way. The defensive player is at such a disadvantage when it comes to that. I just see it all the time where they don't call it, or they don't call pushing off on a wide receiver.
The game's better when you just let the kids decide it, in my mind.
So just never throw penalties or flags for anything?
Well, no. Like Nathan will agree with this. In that Oklahoma game, when an Auburn guy beats a guy badly and that safety pulls him down from behind at the goal line and rips him down, you got to call that. But let the kids play. That was just a football play. To me, I'm letting the kids decide it there.
Yeah, I mean, you could have said the same thing with the Georgia kid pushing off at the end and over our corner there.
Absolutely.
But hell, that was just a fantastic play. I mean,
I
hated it. I wouldn't have bitched about the call.
No.
But it didn't happen. So
you know what's
just
funny?
had to let it go.
You know what's funny, man? The technique is they teach those kids as they get on that DB and then make yourself big and then get off of him. And the ball was thrown. I mean,
it was bang bang.
It was a beautiful play. I mean, I hate that it happened to us, but it's why the sport's so great, because it was crazy that it happened in our building.
Last thing I'll say is, as far as Heupel goes in these quarterbacks, I mean, I agree that Milton decision was just not good. Pulling him in over Hooker, I mean, our thinking, getting stuck on him. But as far as the Nico thing goes, you got to think back, where we were at. We wanted a splash get. And, I hadn't heard Urban Meyer apologize for his pontificating about Nico.
They all did it. Nick Saban did it.
Everybody.
They all did it.
Oh, Nick Saban did it too.
Yeah, they all did it.
So did Tony Basilio.
Yeah, I made a total ass of myself.
But Heupel was with him all the time and should have recognized better. That's what he gets paid to do.
I just think the weird thing about Heupel, the thing that makes the whole reactive, whatever the guy was just saying a second ago, proactive, reactive, it was highly reactive of them to let Nico and his father run them over in the offseason. That was just
absolutely.
And I hope if he ever gets in that spot again, because he will get in that spot again. All these people are going to be in that spot. When a guy comes to you for more money, when he sucks, you look at him and say, get your shit and get out of my office. Go clean your locker out.
And not only that, but when somebody tries to big boy you, that's not the first time. He should have set the tone for that real early.
Absolutely.
And just said, look, if it doesn't work, okay, y'all get the hell out of here, but you're not going to come in my office and talk to me like this, or you're not going to put the heat on me like this.
Right.
Fine. Figure it out.
I mean, Vitello told me a great story. He said, look, I had a guy in my office, and he was like very, very pushy with me, very pushy. This is a great player. He wouldn't tell me who it was, but he said, and I just looked at him and said, this isn't going to work. And the father looked at me, and the kid was kind of like, huh? And Tony said, yeah, this isn't going to work, so you guys need to go find someplace else to play. He said, I just sort of ended their visit.
Yeah.
I love that story.
You know what's funny? Because part of what I do is in sales, and I was talking to Russell Smith about this the other day. You don't grow in sales. Anybody that's in sales knows this, till you're willing to look at somebody and say, don't talk to me like that.
Yeah.
Because, listen, we're going to have a partnership here, and I belong just like you belong. So I have to win, and you have to win. What Nico wanted was he wanted Nico to win. That's all those guys cared about.
Yeah, he wanted his pocket to win.
Yeah.
Hey, and real quickly, as far as Heupel and that not walking people in the portal, now, I mean, I think he does recognize that Tennessee seems to be a lightning rod for that kind of shit. And we just came off of,
they can't do anything
McDonald's
to you.
Bags full of money.
Yeah, but they can't. No, that's not an excuse. They can't do anything to you. They can't do anything to you for that.
We seem to be the one that they try to.
Yeah, those days are gone, bro. And I appreciate you, but that can't be an excuse. No, I reject that, John, as an excuse for anything like that. No. So, I just think it's interesting, the proactive, reactive thing. I got to think about it. Because I don't know whether changing that offense last year, that shows proactive to me. He didn't have to do that.
Well, to be really proactive, he could have thought ahead and said, well, the defenses will maybe catch up to this. I'll go ahead and make a change now.
Maybe that's what they did. Maybe so.
Let's
go back to our phones on your TLD Logistics phone line. I love when callers, and we have so many great ones. John tells me that like off the air. We have so many interesting angles, and just a lot of you are just so wonderful. And some of you are knuckleheads. Hey, welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, gentlemen. How you guys?
Hey, Greg. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing good. Just got through. Been listening to you guys all morning, and it's part of the afternoon we're in now, and enjoyed your show the entire day, brother. Y'all doing a good job.
Hey, thank you, man.
Ate my tuna fish sandwich and potato chips and sun
Nice.
drop and
What kind of tuna fish? Do you do chicken of the sea, star-kissed?
Star-kissed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bomb. Bomb.com.
In water.
What do you put on your tuna fish?
Mayonnaise.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's a little mayonnaise.
That's
mixed in
what we
there.
call
That's about it. Maybe a tomato slice.
Oh, I love tomato. I love a BLT back in the day. Put a little mayo on it. Oh, come back again and again.
You got me, brother. I've been known to have too many BLTs in a week. I don't know
there you
why,
go.
but I get craving bacon. And I saw something on X one day. It says there's a big old plate of crispy, great-looking bacon. What do you do with leftover bacon? I said, we never have any.
Oh.
I don't know how you'd ever have any leftover bacon.
I sprinkle it on my puppy's food. My dog likes two things, anything like that, and then chicken. She freaks out for chicken, man. Like, she'll spin around in circles when she smells that you're sticking a little bit of chicken on her food. Like, literally will spin around in circles. It's funny.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, let me ask you guys a question. Proactive, inactive, whatever the case may be, whatever you want to call it. Looking at Coach Heupel, and I love you. I love him. You know, I told you that before. And if indeed you think he has a hard time swallowing his pride?
In what context, Greg?
Decisions he makes on a young kid when you're taught as a Christian to forgive and forget and help and do this, do that.
But we are taught to forgive and forget. However, actions do have consequences.
But you don't hold a guy guilty for the whole damn season.
I mean, they put him back there and they're letting him return kicks. The guy's fumbled 2 balls, Greg. And it could have been costly.
Well, look at the last guy they had out there. He let one bounce.
I'm not arguing with that.
I'm just the 1/2 yard line.
We're not doing what about. What I'm saying is, they've given Boo Carter opportunity, and look, I'm a guy that would play him on offense. If I made the deal to keep him, I would figure out a way to flip a ball to him, and let him change a game for me. I would be trying to find creative ways to get the ball in his hands. I completely agree, but I just think that he's been very good to Boo Carter. Boo Carter took the summer off, man, and got away with it, Greg.
But the other day you made a comment about Brazil. Guys close in the program told you that if he would work at it, he'd be a lot better. So they've got somebody in the program telling you that he's not working at it, but instead putting him on the sidelines to make you think about it more. He's out there playing. And, that's 2 guys being treated differently.
I don't think so, no. I don't, because one guy left his team in the summer. That's a totally different deal than I got to go knock on this door and wake this guy up to come to workouts. Those are 2, which is who Brazil is. Those are two completely different scenarios in my book. John, what do you think? A guy that leaves his team for like weeks in the summer, I mean, that's tough, John. That he's still on the team, I think, is a borderline miracle, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I think if a lot of players on that team didn't want him back. However, if you elect to bring him back, you choose to play him, then you need to try and get the best out of him.
But if he's
And-
fumbling balls, John, and you want to try somebody else back there, you're well within your right to do that. Yes or no?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. I agree with you, Tony. This guy's really hard to tackle. And I'd like to see him with the football.
Yeah, Greg was right last year when he said, why aren't they trying this guy on offense? We got 0 playmakers on offense. See,
Yeah.
Greg, I'm one thing about me, brother, I will always admit when I'm wrong, because I'm wrong so damn much, Greg, I'm good at it. So the point is that, which is good at saying I'm wrong, if you got a guy that dynamic, put him in the slot. I don't care about your rotations, and you can give me a reason for anything in life. You could always give me a reason why you won't do something. But when I had somebody that dynamic, and I've made a deal to keep him on the team, and I've already kind of bent probably what I should have done, I'm with you, Greg. I'd have him out there. But I don't think it's pride, Greg. I think it's that kid fumbled twice, and he scared them, and they didn't want him fumbling the ball on the road. And the very guy they put back there thinking would be shorthanded fumbled the damn football. You can't make that up, Greg. You cannot make that up.
Well, the
But
thing
they
about
need a new punt returner because then he misplayed the other one and let the ball roll 25 yards.
That's why they got Carter right back in that game. See, Greg, I think being, like you were saying, what the word you use, like arrogant or like hard-headed, I think if he would have left Carter on the bench the other day, we've seen some football coaches that would have done that to prove a point. Hey, I'll lose a game to prove a point to you. Heupel said, get your ass back in there. I've seen enough of this guy. This guy is scaring me over here.
Well, thing about it is, we talk about leaving a running back in there when he starts running the ball.
Yep.
And all of a sudden he's on the sidelines.
Yep.
You got to give an offensive guy time to get acclimated to being on that side of the line. He hasn't even been given a chance. But anyway,
Greg, they were going to do that. They planned on, I was told, this summer, really introducing him, and he was gone. So,
what was the reasoning behind him not being there? Did he have some personal going on?
No idea. No idea. Because there's all kinds of rumors.
We don't know. A lot of kids that young, they do the wrong thing. That's the reason why they do something wrong, and we've all done it in our lifetime. Young, we learned our lesson, and you got to give a guy, an opportunity. We're for the team, TEAM.
Right, and he left the TEAM, Greg.
Well, that's we don't know the reason why.
Greg,
we can't criticize young kids.
Greg, I can criticize. There's not a valid reason to leave your team, Greg, if everybody else stays there. Come on.
At least Brazel stayed around and showed up, even though he may not have worked that hard at it.
That's the point. That's the point, Brian. And
but
Greg,
we all don't know.
Greg,
we all don't know why he left.
Greg, it doesn't matter. It's an unexcused absence.
It does to me.
Greg, if you want to leave, Greg, if you want to leave your team, you go to your boss and get permission, right? What happens if you have a job and you leave your job? What happens to you?
Well, that's hey.
It's the same.
Kids are made different.
No,
you know it just as
no,
well as
it's the same thing. He's not a kid. He's 20 years old. He's not a kid.
He's a kid.
Greg, how many football players leave their teams in the summer like that? Let me help you out. It never happens. I mean, you can forgive. I love that you love this guy. You're this guy's cut man. I love that. I'm for that, not against it. And you're committed to it. Greg, come on, man. This guy left his team. You can't leave your team.
I don't care who it is. All I'm committed is when you've got an area where you need an extra great receiver. That's what I'm worried about. I don't care what his name is. I'm worried about having an extra threat that the defense has to look after. This kid can get open. He won Class 6A Mr. Football.
Oh, he could have been that.
His senior year and had 20-something touchdowns
Greg,
in the air.
If he would have stayed, they were going to use him, Greg, on offense. But he left.
Well,
I'm sorry. I didn't do it.
Hey,
he did it.
Let me ask you a question. let me ask you a question real quick about the football committee. Are you guys, and I'll get off here once I ask you, are you guys worried about their decisions this year? And would you love to see a media representative named to sit in on the committee meetings each and every week, take notes for every media out there in the state and nation, and make sure things are above board, so to speak, on how they, pick these teams, make their decisions?
Greg,
thanks for taking my call,
Thank
brother.
you, bro. I love you, man. On your TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime. I love Greg because he's not afraid to spar, and he go back and forth, and he doesn't take things personally. He's, we go round and round. Hey, John, on that committee thing, I never trust those committees because I know life is political, and these sports are big business, and the job of these commissioners is to pull as many teams in as possible because that's how we keep the money flowing. I do think it would be a great idea, John, for all these committees just to be open so we can watch their deliberations. What's there to hide? So, yeah, I would like to see media people embedded with them, John, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but do you trust the media person that's observing?
That's why they ought to just be open. Kind of like
have them like open hearings, like a town hall,
sure,
and televise it.
John, what would the ratings be for that?
Yeah.
What would the ratings be for that, John?
I think they would be pretty good. I don't think the commissioners would go for it, though.
No. Greg, do I trust? I think, like Rusty said earlier, I think there's a scenario where Tennessee goes 10-2, gets left at home. If enough teams are 10-2. Like, it's neat, that certain people say, well, all these teams and everybody that's 10-2 in the SEC gets in. That's not necessarily the case. Every year is going to be different here. But we only have 12 spots, and one's promised to a group of 5 team, which could be Comrade goalish before it's over, if they can beat Memphis. Bri, who else is in the mix and in the hunt for that? It's Comrade, goalish, and Memphis. How goalish?
And I've heard, well, no, it can't be too late now. They got beat by Ole Miss. But, yeah, I think a CUSA champion.
Yeah, Tulane could still do it out of the CUSA. Yeah, that's right. Here's the thing. What would happen if we got left at home at 10-2 and Mississippi or Memphis went to the playoffs? How damn galling would that be? And I'm going to tell you something about Memphis. If they got in, they'd have a chance to beat somebody because they're not bad. They have a nice little program there in that league. Like, I wouldn't rule that out. They beat Arkansas, right? Yes.
But that's no great accomplishment.
I know that. That Arkansas defense that day. I'll tell you who's going to be really interesting, John, is how the committee is going to deal with this Notre Dame team if they're 10-2. Because their schedule, you think our schedule's easy? You ought to look at their schedule. Their schedule sucks on dry ice.
They're Notre Dame. You know how the committee's going to deal with Notre Dame.
I think they
just the fact that Notre Dame can get in without being in a conference and doesn't have to win a championship.
Yes,
in a conference. I mean, that you answer your own question right there.
That schedule, the
rest
rest
Notre
of the
Dame
way,
at 10-2 is getting into playoff,
and their schedule the rest of the way, John, is utterly gross. Is what it is. It's gross. John, should we get out of here or call? And call Titansville or mess with them? What do you want to do? We have 2 choices here. It's your call.
We can call Titansville.
Yeah, I'm going to call him.
God. Go ahead and give him a call.
All right, let's poke the bear here. This is the time of the show, ladies and gentlemen, where it's called I Amuse Myself.
Laura's like, get off the air, Tone.
Because I are a simpleton. And I guess Titansville in a way. Let's see here. All right. He called me yesterday at 1:39. All right.
Hey, I've got a good idea.
Hit it.
Go ahead and call him and then hang up.
All right, hang on. John, people actually listen to this. You know that, right? We have listeners.
It's hard to believe. You calling?
Oh, that's...
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Bill. How you doing, buddy?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
The clarity, John, I think we figured it out. I think we troubleshot him. Bill, where are you right now?
I'm in my room.
Which room? Your bedroom?
My bedroom.
All right.
I'll move.
Well, you sound great right there in your bedroom. Are you on your bed?
No, I'm in my chair, my recliner.
Tony. He sounds horrible.
No, he sounds great. Brian, do you hear how good he sounds?
I hear him, but I don't know if he sounds all that great. I'm with John.
I think he sounds great. Let me turn him down a little bit. Go ahead, Bill. Talk for me.
Okay.
How about that, guys?
Yeah, that was better.
There you go.
Okay,
I had him up a little loud.
You need to speak in short sentences, Bill.
Hey, Bill, where were you earlier? Because we're trying to troubleshoot you right now, okay?
Okay.
Because I want to be able to hear your random art that you spin on here. Where were you earlier when you called?
I was in my room. Then I moved in here into the kitchen.
Are you in the kitchen right now?
Into the kitchen right now.
All right, hang on a second. Were you in the kitchen when we talked earlier today?
The kitchen is not good. The kitchen is. Your calls don't cook in the kitchen.
Yeah, and by the way, Bill, why, if you sound good in your room, are you in your damn kitchen? Who gave you permission to go in your kitchen?
Nobody gave me much permission to go
There it
into
goes. It's breaking up again. It's the kitchen. All this time, it's been your damn... Bill, when you call, what percentage of the time are you in your kitchen and what percentage are you in your room?
Well, mostly my percentage of the time is mostly...
There's a damn kitchen. You hear that? You hear that, John? We figured it out. Bill, get back in your room.
No.
I didn't say you couldn't come out of your... Go back in your room, Bill.
Do you think W. Lynn could have been calling from Bill's kitchen?
W. Lynn might be able to... He might be able to hang out in Bill's room. Bill, do you have room in your room for W. Lynn if he came over?
Yeah.
Now, where are you right now, Bill?
He's in the kitchen.
Bill?
Watching a very classical movie.
Where are you, Bill?
In my room.
Well, it's not good there either.
No. I mean, what happened, Bill? Now you're having packet
Hang
loss.
on.
Johnny's having packet loss.
I have you on speaker. Can you hear me now?
You went from the headset, Bill, to the speaker?
I'm on speaker right now. I just turned you on speaker, Tony.
All right, go back to where you were. Okay, go back off speaker.
Okay.
Try it again.
But don't leave the room.
Okay, can you hear me now? I'll tell you one thing. Hang on.
That sounds good. Now,
Didn't sound that good.
Put it back on speaker and walk in the kitchen real quick.
Okay, because I charged this thing a couple of times.
Oh no, it's not your charge. It's not your charge, Bill. It's your connectivity. Go back into your kitchen and put it back on speakerphone.
Okay.
Let me hear how this is going to sound. John, you think anybody's listening to this as we troubleshoot Bill's phone?
I would guess there are probably 4 or 5 people listening.
Bill, what model phone is that? What model phone do you have?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Now you're
Not very
back.
well.
Now
One
you
is
sound,
not very clear. That's
now
what
you sound
Model
like
Pony
Titans
has.
Bill. Now you sound like Titans Bill.
Okay.
Go away. Keep going. Get as far away from your room as you can.
I am.
There you go. Now we're talking. Bill, we fixed your phone. Bill, we fixed your phone.
Yes.
Thank you, buddy. Hey, Bill.
Yeah.
Your phone reminds me of the Titans. That's the Titans.
Yeah.
You're out of here. John, presented by Jennifer Morris, nextmovesmokymountains.com, Sheeta Bass. John,
That conversation with Titans Bill was actually painful.
That's why people listen. Who else is going to do that?
That's not much different than other conversations with Titans Bill.
No, there's
Some
cheap,
would say.
There's cheap shot Hartman again, John.
His sound, I don't think you solved anything. His sound might have been worse in the kitchen, but it still wasn't good in his room.
That was very good in his room. I digress.
No, it wasn't.
I love when people say I digress, even though it doesn't
Does
make
he have
any
an
sense.
attic? Does he have an attic that he could go in?
You know,
Crawl space.
His calls sound like he's in a basement.
Hey, John, that's not a bad idea. Tomorrow we ought to. Next time you're on here, we'll troubleshoot and send them up to the attic. I love you, Billy. You're my boy.
Has one.
Wait, hang on. He's calling me now. Bill, how you doing? What can I do you for?
Okay, now I'm talking to you on your cell, and now can you hear me now?
John, can you hear him now?
No.
Yeah, we can hear you.
No, very faint.
Are you blaming my equipment, Bill? Is that what you're kind of getting at?
No, I'm not doing anything like that, Tony.
It sounds like you're blaming my equipment, Bill. You said now I'm talking on your cell phone and you can hear me loud and clear.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the implication there?
That's what I tried to do. I tried to. You called me on your show number.
Do you have an attic?
Huh?
Do you have an attic in your house?
No, we don't have an attic in my house. I'm in here in the living room.
Okay, do you have a way to get to the roof?
What about a crawl space?
Or a crawl space? Do you have a crawl space? John wants to know if you have a crawl space.
I don't have a crawl space.
Do you have a basement?
Yeah, I have a basement.
Hey,
got a cellar.
I bet if he went to his basement, John, I bet he would sound like he's on W. Lynn's phone.
What about a chimney? Do you have a chimney?
Do you have a chimney? A chimney, Bill? 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 Oh, Billy.
Laura's like, get off the air.
I think
get
we
off the
lost
air
him.
now.
All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, Tony,
Watson
you
Brown will
need
be
to go.
here. Yeah, I gotta go. Love you, appreciate
You
you.
need to
Peace. Go Red Sox. Oh gosh, this guy will not leave me alone. I want to thank my friends at TLD Logistics. They're online at tldlogistics.com for all your shipping needs. Trust my friends at TLD Logistics. And hey, if y'all could ship Titans Bill somewhere, let me know. Let's make a deal. My Rona me. No, I rejected that call. Love you, appreciate you. Peace. All right, to those who are listening, we're going to run it back. I just cannot even believe the Titans Bill effect. He's in full effect. The Titans Bill effect is in full effect. Let's run today's show back for Yinzers to enjoy, and that was some time I'm never going to get back.
It came down to an onside kick.
Johnny Boy Adams is going to join us here momentarily, as will at some point the T to the G to the M to the D. We're kicking it live with you right now. The comments. So the Athletic yesterday report about on Tony Vitello. I'm looking at YouTube. And the Giants. Y'all are comical, man. I want And Tony listens to the show because, he likes to move and groove with us. And I amuse him, and he amuses me. But I tell you what would not be amusing for Tony is life in Major League Baseball.
Blake Courtney, LOL, man.
Now, people say, well, that's a pipe dream, and they would never hire him. Yes, they would. Oh, yeah. Pat Murphy has had major success.
Green.
Here's the way professional sports work. Professional sports have always been, like all sports, a copycat game. Somebody wins with a certain offense. Pretty soon, everybody's running that offense. Somebody wins with a certain defense. Pretty soon, people are running that defense. Pat Murphy has been very good, former college coach. And, that makes sense, dealing with college and pro players. They're younger. The guys are getting younger and younger. Here's the thing about Tony. Tony burns really hot. Tony over 162 games would burn out.